How are we going to be the best streamers if we're not crunching like video game people? We can learn a lot from being underpaid and working 80 hours.
What video game people?
Apparently everybody in the industry. One day I got to do a segment on video games. You'd be shocked the shit that's going on in the video game industry right now is fucking wild, dude. Wild.
I mean, the only thing that I've seen people talking about, the only thing I've seen people talking about recently is whatever this Pragmata game is.
Oh yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. There's wild shit going on right now. But look, is even more
Well, I
wild.
can only the tip of the iceberg is the only thing you can see, and you still can't turn to port fast enough.
But what's gonna be wild is I'm probably gonna shock people today. And you know why I'm gonna shock people? Because you saw the last 5 minutes, and you know why I almost
Yeah, I know. You're pissed off about something that makes perfect sense.
it does, but I'm gonna tell you why it pisses me off.
Oh my god. Okay, so you've already agreed with me, and you're like, I'm gonna take all of the points away from the show because I don't like what happened. I hate when people review stuff like that.
Not about that. You'll get it in a second because that was beautiful. I both love and hate the scene, but that's not why it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because they did what I like to call, okay, let me give a Game of Thrones example. We have episodes of Game of Thrones, right? I like to call them BFTL, before Tywin Lannister's and then after Tywin Lannister. And after Tywin Lannister's death, right? We can both agree the quality of the show started taking a fucking nosedive. And it was gradual.
Any show that has Charles Dance and then doesn't have Charles Dance is taking a nosedive. that's not fair.
But we can agree, right? Okay, so just take that theory for a second. Michael Gandolfini was the best out of that whole fucking cast. So I'm not saying he didn't have to die because of the way his character is structured. And look, we come from Game of Thrones. I'm used to my favorite fucking characters getting off. That's just like a fucking day in the office, right? Especially in those beginning seasons, all right? If you came from the Red Wedding, okay, you're a pro. You've seen the Red Wedding, you're prepared for anything on cable television. Because that day,
sure,
they took out so many people. They damn near took out the North that day. Did they take out most? They essentially did take out most of the North that day, right? My issue is, how the fuck do we kill Michael Gandolfini and keep the fucking stupid psychologist bitch? What?
Because she's still needed for the story.
For what? For what, PB?
Well, considering they're still doing, they're still doing vigilante trials, so I assume she's doing the same thing that she did for the swordsman for all of them.
That was 5 seconds. It's done. Carrot trial's done.
It is?
There's no point. It's done. She's going to get off. She's going to get out. Matt Murdock came back. We don't need the other fucking stupid black counselor. We don't need the fucking psychiatrist.
I mean, I watched the episode. She's not going to get off the way that she likes because Frank isn't there.
My point is, it's not just that one specific scene, but it was a combination.
It is. That's the only important thing that happened in the last 5 minutes. And you said the last 5 minutes is what pissed you off. And I was like, well, he's upset that they killed off Michael Gandolfini's character because he liked his character, even though it's exactly what will happen in the story with the choices that are made.
I know, but it's too soon. It kills the story for me, and to me, they took
getting rid of an adjacent character
in the show.
Getting rid of an adjacent character kills the story between Kingpin and Daredevil.
I'll be honest with you. Okay, and this goes back to me.
You're so full
this goes back to the previous Daredevil. I have told you before, and we have both agreed. Daredevil has been fucking boring. Even just between Kingpin and Daredevil hasn't been exciting. Honestly, some of the best parts we highlight have had nothing to do with fucking Kingpin or Daredevil. Look at the last ones we reviewed. We've had maybe 2 episodes where we said, oh, the interaction between Kingpin and Daredevil were cool. I think the fight we both agreed was good. But what the fuck interactions have been interesting? So no, we can't say Daredevil and Kingpin are keeping the show interesting. I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio by
Daredevil
himself,
and Kingpin is the only reason there is a show.
The Daredevil show, the main characters have not kept the show interesting for me. And it's a symptom of, I think that this has been fucking poorly constructed. Once again, we talked about this, and this was a problem with Invincible. I think not that the moment and how he died wasn't impactful, because obviously it pissed me off right away, but it's the placement. I think this was a bad move. I think this is like a Carl situation in The Walking Dead. They kill this character way before it's time. I think there were plenty of things still left for him to do in the show as a whole. And for me, it feels like a very bad mistake.
Name 2 things that he had to do.
They sped up the storyline. They could have drawn this out a lot more.
Sped up what storyline?
The storyline of him letting BB go or whatever else, they sped that up too soon. They shouldn't have cut this shit off here. That's a storyline they should have expanded for a couple of seasons.
His storyline is a 1-season storyline.
No, 2. Because if you got it from season 2 or season 1, he's been here technically 2 seasons.
And what was he doing in season 1?
Being fucking entertaining. That's what he was doing. Being one of the best characters.
Okay, how about we talk about what actually happens in the show instead of your hurt feelings that one of the actors that you like isn't in the show anymore. You're the type of person that's like, oh, season 6 of Stargate SG-1 is shit because it doesn't have Daniel Jackson.
No, I actually quite thoroughly enjoyed it.
I know, fuck you, guy.
No,
obviously they killed off Daniel way too soon because he had 4 more fucking seasons of shit to do. But it wasn't a problem then, but it's a problem now.
No, they brought it back. It's a problem now because the story writing for this season has been shit. And this isn't a new thing. I've said this since the beginning. This whole season has been up and down with no consistency. There's no rhythm.
No, it's been mostly up and 2 down. 2 down from your perspective. Only 1 episode was down from my perspective.
I had a lot of episodes down. Remember, I made a whole rant about episode 2.
Yeah, I'm talking about episode 2.
1 that I gave a high rating, and people could go back.
You only gave 1 out. What constitutes a high rating? To me, anything above
that 1
8 and above is high.
Yeah, I gave the one with Bullseye an 8.
Okay, well, you haven't given every other episode a 7 and below.
I've given them either 7 or 6. I only gave 1 8 to this show, and that was the solely focused Bullseye episode. That was a great episode.
There is not a single episode in this season that is solely focused on one character. Don't say stuff like that. That is not what happened in that episode.
Yeah, it was. The next episode,
when you say that the episode is solely focused on somebody, that means that they are in every scene. Because you're seeing how every character interacts with them, and that didn't happen in any fucking episode.
Yeah, it literally starts with his routine. That was his episode where they solely focused on it.
If
you need to go,
you said solely focused. Solely. I'm not going to disagree that the episode where he kills everybody at the beginning is a Bullseye focused episode, but it ain't focused solely on him, because if it was focused solely on him, you wouldn't see anything else that happens in the background.
Whatever. What I'm saying is that's the highest episode that I had. This season fucking sucks. I hate it. I think it's garbage. I think that season
What an emotional review.
And I'm just going to say this right now. I don't care who.
What's up, Carmen? What's up, Justin?
I give this episode a 2.
How?
And 2 points for Buck and Danielle's acting.
So everything else was irrelevant, and
I hated fucking everything else.
Didn't move the story for you. So you didn't like Bullseye
got rid
saving
of
the governor?
Jessica Jones. Why?
You didn't like Bullseye saving the governor?
Fucking stupid. The whole thing was stupid. I fucking hated this episode.
You didn't like Matt Murdock showing up?
No. I didn't like that because the black chick was doing what the talking. Why fucking was Matt even there? Oh, just so like
because the fucking cameras are there, guy. It's because the cameras are there.
It was a fucking stupid. It was stupid. I hated every decision in this episode. There were two. I'm wrong. There were two good parts.
Tell me what decision. So you hate all the decisions, okay? Let's go through how all the decisions were poor decisions for the characters in the show, and not just for your emotional well-being. Go. What was decision number 1 that was terrible?
Decision number 1 that was terrible. Anything having to do with the fucking psychiatrist. That character.
No. Tell me about what happened in the show that was terrible. Don't say, well, whenever she shows up, I'm bored. That's not a decision that's made in the show. That's a decision that's made in your mind.
No, her being a character was the show's decision. Her still being on this show is a decision of theirs.
Tell me what decisions the characters made in the show that were bad.
God, I gotta think because I immediately blocked out most of what happened. I should have rewatched the episode before I started doing this because I was so angry. I really, really fucking hated this. Let me go.
You're angry about something that makes sense inside of the context of the story. I'm not saying that I'm happy that Michael Gandolfini isn't going to be in the show anymore.
That's not my point. It's the structuring, PB. It's the place.
Structuring.
Why would they kill the best character so soon? It makes no fucking sense. And why are they keeping the characters that should be killed off? Like, for instance, when they killed Vanessa.
Because Heather does not have a relationship with somebody that is leaking stuff to the press. As soon as Heather starts leaking stuff to the press and making videos that are anti-Kingpin or anti-Fisk or whatever,
she's losing her fucking goddamn mind. First off,
as soon as she does that,
she's terrible and she's boring every time she's on screen.
As soon as she does what Daniel did, and she doesn't get killed for it, that would be a poor decision. That didn't happen.
Okay. One thing I do want to say, because this comes up first, according to what I'm reading here, the Luke Cage thing, I see what they did. And let me not sell what's his face short. Our boy out there, I always forget his name, and I love him from Scream.
Who?
Help me out. He plays the douchebag government
Lillard.
Guy. Yeah, Matthew Lillard. Sorry, Matthew, if you ever watched this. You're doing God's work. It was it made me chuckle. I still feel like they wasted Jessica Jones here, but I don't know why people seem to have I know you've heard about this too from reading thumbnails, and I clicked on some stuff. I don't know why people are so pissed off that they said Luke Cage is doing stuff. But I was like, it makes sense because him and Jessica Jones have a kid, like in universe, and them. So you got to explain like why he isn't helping. He's literally a New York-based character, so they have to give a reason. So did you have a problem with this? Because this was the least of my problems with this episode. I was just like, oh, okay.
I didn't.
That means they have the option to bring Mike Calder back.
I don't have any problems with this episode, majorly speaking. The fact that Luke Cage, in my mind, because I believe that Mr. Charles works for Allegra in some capacity, which means that he's essentially doing what Allegra was doing in the Thunderbolts and having different heroes go to different places and clean shit up. So, I mean, I think that it's interesting that at some point, like, I don't know what movies or shows are going to be coming down the pipe, but obviously there's going to be a confrontation between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage because she's like, wow, you're over there. You're not here to take care of your child. And then the people that you work for raided the house that your child lives in. And he's going to be like, well, shit. And then we'll see what happens.
Yes. They have a quick back and forth. So small.
Scene, I like the scene on the rooftop. That was good for the characters that we should be seeing in action, as in punching bad guys in the face, to just be standing on a roof and then Cherry shows up. Beautiful. I can see, after watching scenes like this, I can see why you'd give it a 2.
No, personally, I thought it was okay. I'm not really thrilled with what they've done with Jessica Jones this season. Moving on.
I didn't watch The Defenders and I didn't watch Jessica Jones, so I don't know how underutilized she's being. I mean, I was disappointed that you don't get to see the fight straight up. Like, it's essentially just a bunch of guys falling outside of the house.
Yeah, see, and that's
that was a previous episode, though.
See, I've got prior knowledge, so I've seen,
which is fine. I like the fact that you have the prior knowledge and that I don't, so that we can have a robust discussion on how retarded you are that you gave it a 2.
I'm
still not hearing all these examples of characters that have made poor choices.
No, I'm just going through the things. Like I said, this scene was fine. Rooftop scene, I was annoyed with that because I knew they were going to do much with her character. That you could chalk up to I've got prior knowledge, so maybe I'm just salty. I wanted to see her doing more. Now, to be fair, I'll give them a break. They could be setting her up to return in the season final in a big way. So I'm going to put a pin on that complaint because it might just be like, because they're doing the whole, they're doing the whole thing with the character where like, oh, you got to help us, or it'd be really nice if you can lend a hand. And she's all like, oh, I can't right now. Hey, Carmen, I'm on a roll. I wasn't ignoring you. Anyways,
he's trying to be on a roll, but he's speaking a lot of nonsense so far.
I don't care what you say. This was a fucking terrible episode.
It's not a terrible episode.
It's a fucking god-awful episode. I hated it. We're moving on. So,
what do you mean we're moving on?
So, they do the rooftop scene, which is fine. Yeah, it's whatever. Then,
here, I can tell you one thing that annoys me. Now, maybe I could be wrong, but highly unlikely. Bullseye quite definitely knows who's under the Daredevil mask, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. So what is the point of him wearing the mask when they're having their conversation?
It's supposed to be... Well, hold on. Let me get... Well, PB.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's artistic flair, right? You're supposed to see the dynamics, right? Matt Murdock, the devil, forgiving him in this moment, right? And,
he didn't forgive
Bullseye
him.
Being unmasked, he's forgiving him not only as Matt Murdock.
There's no forgiveness in the scene.
Dear boy, hold on. He's not just forgiving him as Daredevil, but he's forgiven him as Matt Murdock. You see there, boy?
Oh, really? Because I didn't see Matt
Daredevil
Murdock
and Matt Murdock.
It would have made way more sense if he would have had the mask on, started the conversation, and then took it off for the emotional weight.
Yes. See, I actually, that's a PB.
That is the poorest decision made in this episode.
No, the poorest decision was the last 5 minutes. I don't care what you say. I will.
I don't understand. You still haven't explained to me how it doesn't make sense in the story. Like,
does it make
Buck
sense?
Buck told him
with a storyline.
Buck told him to fix the leak. He didn't fix the leak. Buck figured out that it was BB the one doing everything, and he told Buck to bring BB so that they can get rid of the person who's doing all of the anti-Fisk propaganda. And what does he do? He literally lets her walk down the street and away. What did you thought there was going to be no fallout for him? The baby noise came from the other side of the room.
No, but here's the thing.
Not liking stuff and something not making sense are not the same. And I want you to tell me how it doesn't make sense. Not whether or not you like it.
It doesn't make sense to me in the timeline. It doesn't feel like the character has been fully explored. It feels like
we've been working our way down this story since the start of the show.
A good death and one that feels like it's just placed there for shock value. And I think this was just for fucking shock value. And there could have been more substance mined from this. They could have did so much more. I feel like that it's the symptom I see with a lot of shows where they want to be big and shocking and they kill someone off, right? Oh my God factor. And they don't think about how it hurts the story in the long run because there's so much potential you still have with that character. I don't believe his story needed to end here. That's my issue. That's the fucking crux of it.
Give me an example. No, give me an example.
Hold on. Where they left it off with the body. They could have explored him descending down a path and then make the choice to save BB at the end. Hell, I didn't even have a problem.
Have you not watched the last 2 episodes? What do you think was happening with him the last 2 episodes?
I talked about this. It's 2 fucking episodes out of a season. We're giving.
It's 2 episodes that is going. Dude, I think you're misunderstanding what the character's doing.
How is that?
The character is doing. He's making his slow descent into darkness. Like, oh, take one step, take another step, take another step. But guess what? Doing propaganda for Fisk isn't quite as bad as burying a body. So if you don't think that we're close, hold on. If you don't think that he was close to going off the cliff, you're fooling yourself. His whole entire story has been a gradual and increasingly worse timeline. So if you want to keep him around for 5 seasons, he's not going to have anything to do because he's going to have his character moment already. He already had his character moment. Saving BB was his moment.
I'm saying the moment was too soon.
Why?
You could have gotten one more season. You could have went darker.
Okay, so
it would have made more.
We'll go with what you're saying. You could have gotten another season out of him because I like him as an actor. Tell me
the fucking character, the story. I write stories. This is rushed. It's my problem with the whole season. Parts are rushed and parts are fucking painfully slow. That's what I'm saying. The writing is off beat. The beats don't.
Give me an example. Give me one example in any show ever, of a character that didn't die and went on to complete their story.
Sopranos, season 1, and then season 2, they killed Pussy Bompatero.
So two seasons is enough for a character? 2 seasons is enough? Thank you. I agree. 2 seasons is enough.
Okay. 4 seasons. Ralphie. Same show.
Who the fuck is Ralphie?
He had a whole... And you can look up the actor. Joe Palinelli, I believe, is the actor's name. Very charismatic actor.
Right? In his story, why was he supposed to be killed before he was? I mean, because Daniel definitely should be killed by the end of this season for betraying Fisk the way that he did. There's no reason to keep him around. Once you think Fisk's waste time? How many other people betrayed Fisk and he's just like, we'll keep you around?
I'm not saying they keep him around.
I mean, you could say that about every single person that's died in the show. They all died too fast. Every single person died too fast.
What would have made sense is him turning BBN. I think it's uncharacteristically just like, I just don't feel there's something that with the scene that doesn't sit right with me. I can't fucking explain it. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't flow right to me. Like
what doesn't feel right is your emotional reaction to not seeing an actor in a show anymore. That's why I don't feel right.
No, the story doesn't feel right.
I thought that it worked perfectly.
The pieces are all there, but they're not flowing together. Let me give you an example. Okay, Ned Stark. Did I want him to die? Fuck no. I mean, when you see Sean Bean, it's basically a given he's gonna fucking die at this point. But anyways, that aside, right? Did I want Ned Stark to die at the end? No. I don't think there's very many people who wanted Ned Stark to die, right? No. But it felt right when we got to the season, like things were closing in and stuff like that, and it felt like there was a slow, and then boom. This felt like they started building it. I don't know. Even if you put in an episode 8, I don't think I have an issue as like a season final. But this didn't feel right to me, and I can't explain it. None of the story for this season has felt like it's got a good rhythm. And we have said this several times. The tempo feels off in the storytelling. The storytelling itself, the way beats are happening, the things that are around it. Because if you look at everything else in this episode, let's be real, the most exciting parts of this episode is Michael Gandolfini and Buck's story. The rest of it's just kind of Even the shit with Bullseye, like, I knew that governor person wasn't going to die. And when Matt had talked to him, I didn't know 100%, but I kind of figured he was saving the mayor girl, the mayor chick. Because when you talk to Karen outside of the prison, she was like, I got to fight him from the inside. Fucking stupid. Anyways, why did you think Kingpin was going to fucking try to take you out in court? He doesn't give a shit. But anyways, that's another dumb thing. But anyways, I figured he was telling Bullseye, like, hey, you want to redeem yourself? Save this person. Go with God. And I like the scene. But like I said, and I've said this consistently the whole fucking season, the pace is off. It's like comparing this to Maul, right? Shadow Lord. It's a perfect example to where we said in the beginning, it kind of fell off. And now we hit those last episodes, right? And you can't tell me the flow doesn't feel different from like watching this show. Like Maul is 24 minutes, 20 minutes, right? Nothing felt wrong with less time. This episode is like 45 minutes, and either things feel too fucking slow or way too fucking fast. And that's my issue. Like, the tempo is off across the whole show, and it's been off since fucking episode 1. And this was kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Like, here's the thing, and this is the fucked up part too. It's probably my favorite scene in the whole episode is the last scene with him and Buck, which, by the way, the actor Aristotle, whatever the fuck, the British guy, and I did watch the podcast, by the way.
I did not have time for that one this
week. Well, that just put me off more because Michael Gandolfini is so fucking funny and stuff. And he's like, well, folks, I'm fucking dead. And then they do, you know how they do the recap? So yeah. He does the recap, and he plays like a scene with him and Vivi talking, and then he just cuts to his death. And then it goes back to him, and he goes, oh, all right, I guess I'll show you the rest. And then he plays the rest of the thing. And that's what I mean. That, to me, that perfectly sums up what this episode felt like. Like, the rest of the stuff was peripheral, and it should have been exciting. Like Daredevil coming back to court, that should have got me, but I didn't really care about it. And that's what I'm saying with the pacing issues. Even if, let me give you an example, right? We get a whole fucking episode, and don't get me wrong, I think the actress deserves this, but basically an episode for Vanessa and her passing, and then Foggy and Matt and what Mercy is and stuff like that. We get a whole fucking episode dedicated to that. You can't tell me we can't get an episode with just Michael Gandolfini's character And Buck,
just because you like him as much as you do doesn't mean he's as important to the story as you would want him to
then
be.
why
That's
is
not how it
parts
works.
of the stories the best part of this episode? Because
he's a great actor.
But what I'm saying
that has nothing to do with the story, guy.
The rest of the episode is not good. Which is why I was focused.
Really? The rest of the episode is so bad that you barely remember what happened because you're so pissed off about him getting killed off. And
no,
okay,
I remember.
I'm not going to sit here and argue against you that the pacing is not great. I would agree. The pacing is not great. But you're trying to make the point that this story doesn't make sense when it does. Like, the only way that could have gone differently was if as soon as he goes into building 350, I don't fucking know what street it's on, it doesn't matter. As soon as he goes in there, he's dead. If he would have decided not to go in there and him and BB escape together and just go wherever the hell they want, I don't know where they're going to go. They can go freaking any place. I'm quite certain that his mother would have gotten killed, or at least threatened to get him back to the city. Like, he would have got a message from Buck of a picture. He's like, "Oh, I'm having tea with your mother. It's such a wonderful time. It would be a shame if, I don't know, I blew her brains out. You should probably come back." But he decided to bite the bullet to save everyone around him because there's no reason for them to kill his mother now because he's dead. She's not connected to Fisk.
Okay, let me rephrase my anger so that it makes sense to you, because you're reading this wrong.
Good luck.
It has nothing to do with necessarily the character dying that pisses me off in the last 5 minutes. That's a big part of it, and I still felt like he shouldn't be taken out earlier. But when I sat back and I watched The Boys, which, by the way, is going to be higher, great episode. I also like the title One Shots, which is like one shot comic books, and they switch perspectives. Clever.
I don't know how I felt about that.
It's definitely going to be fucking higher than this, I'll tell you what. It made me feel much better. And I stopped and to think about it. So, okay, PB. From the onset, you have a misunderstanding of why I'm mad, okay? Yes. Am I super pissed that the main character that I like got killed? Yes.
He's not a main character.
Well, for me, the best side.
No, that's not how it works.
Best side character that they've done.
Sure, I can agree with that.
Okay. Best side character. I think what pisses me off is the fact of it enhanced to me how much of the rest of the episode I did not find engaging. I didn't find it like it was pulling me in. And then it's like, on top of that, the creators slapped me in the face by taking away the one good thing that I had if the episode wasn't gripping me. You know, it's like a safety net. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, this episode might not grab me, but I got this guy right here, or I got this right here. Because honestly, even with the older cast, there's been very few moments where we have like these big standout things. Like, it's almost like killing somebody gets the interest back in the show instead of just... For instance, we talk about the conversations.
Killing somebody gets interest back in the show because it makes it more unexpected.
But I'm saying it's not good writing.
A lot more people, using your example, a lot more people were intrigued by Game of Thrones when the first season was over than when the first season started. Because nobody who watches television and pays attention to the stories and what's going on would ever think that, oh, well, the person who I presume is the main character gets killed. Well, how many other shows does that happen in? None. Now, yes. To be fair, come to find out, I would say there isn't a single main character in all of Game of Thrones.
I could get on board with that. Honestly, even
you can pick somebody different in every season to be like, well, that's the person who's most important.
Perfect example, right? What's that one season with like Oberon and stuff? We could say Tyrion is the main.
Okay. Obviously, season number 1, the main character is definitely Sean Bain.
Yep, and then
everything seems to revolve around him. Season 3, I would say the main character is probably Tywin.
Yep.
And then Cersei's got a season where she's the main character. Jon's got a season where he's the main character. Daenerys has a season where she's the main character. Like, it just keeps jumping from person to person. I mean, shit, you could say that season 2, Robb Stark could be the main character.
And now here's the thing, okay? So
in Daredevil, being that the show is called Daredevil, I'm quite certain in my assertion that Daredevil is the main character of Daredevil.
Now let me.
Do we agree on this?
That question back at you.
No, do we agree on that?
Well, 100%. I mean, the fucking thumbnail doesn't lie. The thumbnail clearly says Daredevil Born Again, not Fisk Born Again or Daniel. This one's for you, buddy.
We're going to call him Daniel Gandolfini from now on.
Okay. So here's my issue. We can agree Game of Thrones for the first couple of years had strong writing, correct?
Yes.
Which is why it felt like even though you could highlight to somebody and it didn't necessarily say, oh, this is the main character, even the book just has fucking Game of Thrones. So it's pretty innocuous, right? But we can agree that even though a favorite character of ours may have died, we had other ones, right? Other people we can be like, oh, well, they're still around. Am I correct? Okay. So the writing was good enough to where even if we say lost our favorite character, there were still other things going on, right? Other things in the world that were pulling us in, keeping us locked in. That's my problem.
Okay, except if I go back and watch all of the reviews of this show from this season and last season, that's not going to have been your problem up to this point.
It's this specific season. It's been an issue. I said this since
this specific season, the biggest problem is pacing. The biggest problem is not the storyline.
Well, pacing and the storyline kind of almost feel like they're intertwined. Would you agree? How things are being done?
I wouldn't. No, I do not agree that they're intertwined. I agree that they're connected.
The pace of how in the story, which they're letting certain reviews, how things are being brought to us. Like we saw it in Invincible. Even how you put in certain episodes can affect the whole entire story. Because remember, nobody liked that one episode that apparently everybody fucking. I don't get how you.
Yes, I know. Nobody likes the hell episode for
no reason.
The dumbest fucking reasons imaginable. It doesn't move the story forward, really, because pretty much at this point right now, the story of Invincible has to do with his internal struggle,
which was fucking bashed over our heads by that last episode.
Not to mention the fact that he was having the Daredevil struggle, i.e., do I kill, do I not kill? Like, they had that similarity going for them. And when he goes to hell, I don't know, man. To me, it seemed like a release. It seemed like he was very much enjoying killing somebody who is unkillable. Just punching Volcanica in the face. Punching Volcanica in the face. He's like, ooh, this is a good way to get my frustration out. Let me know when she pops up again, and I will come punch her in the face.
So here, let me relate it to season 1 versus season 2. And I said to you, we could go back and rewind it. I said since the beginning, the first episode, it felt off. And I think we both agreed. There was...
You said the first... You're talking about the first episode of season 1?
of this season. We were saying the first two episodes felt off, and it was almost like if
I mean, I was just the thing I was pissed off about was everybody who was reviewing episode 1 when they say, "Oh, he blew up the ship." Fuck you.
But that's why there was just like so many little things, and then it's just like the utilization of certain characters. Here's the thing. I'm going to save my harshest opinions to see exactly what episode 8 is going to bring.
Okay,
now,
so
if they make a banger and all of this shit that I've dealt with in between makes some kind of a sense, then maybe I am just salty about this. But I got this feeling, and I was going back through and watching some of the earlier episodes where it just feels off, and I can't fucking explain it. And that just kind of
that's a real problem for being a reviewer on YouTube.
Off.
Not being able to explain it is a problem when you're reviewing stuff on YouTube, guy.
Sometimes it's a feeling, man.
I understand.
Look, I write stories.
You gotta try and explain the feeling as best as you can.
Okay, when you read or write something, there's something to with watching shows, for instance, right?
I'll tell you what, when I listen to your books on tape,
you'll be able to tell me.
And you kill off this character that I want more from, there is going to be hell to pay. Now, my question is, was the acting in this episode poor? Like, people weren't acting like themselves? Poor actor, and
you know what I'm going to say. There's only one poor...
No, of all of the actors. Like, you've seen them for 2 seasons now, minimum. Longer for characters that are around for the first one. Like, they were acting poor. They weren't conveying the proper emotions for the scenes they were in. Is that what you're getting at?
No.
The sets looked bad. It was bad cinematography. They weren't giving you the right angles. That was all bad too.
As far as construction wise of a scene, there wasn't anything that I could pick up on.
How in the fuck are you at a 2 then?
As far as that goes, it's just the pacing does not feel right. I don't know.
The pacing can't account for 8 out of 10 points, guy.
The pacing,
there's no fucking way.
The pacing and that death left a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay, that at most. Like if something is egregious to you, if something's egregious to you, you can't be taking off 3 points for it, and you're taking off 4 points for 2 things.
They're big things.
They are not that big.
I can be talked to a 5 because that's what I gave the final for Invincible. And honestly, I thought that episode was better than this one. So I'll be fair.
No, I feel like you're using incorrect terminology. You enjoyed the episode more than you enjoyed this one. That doesn't make it a poor episode structurally or cinematically.
Well, with Invincible, the 5 was more for we did notice a couple of things actually.
Yeah, there are a couple of things, and it was super boring. This episode of Daredevil was not boring. Like I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, okay.
It was boring to me. I was like fucking fidgeting, like oh my god. I thought I was gonna fast forward.
You didn't like the scene with Jessica and Mr. Charles?
That's like 2 seconds.
You need to get your watch fixed.
Okay. Honestly, even now, Jessica Jones parts, which I thought was going to be the big selling key for me. No, I wasn't.
Dude, she was always meant to be a cameo. Lillard? She's not going to be a mainstay character in his show.
Dude, fucking Frank Castle did more.
And Frank Castle is not a mainstay just so you're aware. I'm not a comic expert, but if you walk down the street and
Jessica Jones
and you say you walk down the street
with me, BB. Jessica Jones is huge.
That's the whole point, guy. If you walk down the fucking street and you're like, what do you think about Jessica Jones? People are going to say to you, I don't know her. Is she from in town? Does she live down the street? If you walk down the fucking street and you say, what are your thoughts on the Punisher? People know who the fucking Punisher is. He's a way bigger character than Jessica Jones. It's not even close.
Jessica Jones still had a successful Netflix show that a lot
I'm not saying she didn't. I'm not saying she didn't. But if you look at just the Defenders, people know Daredevil. Nobody fucking knows Jessica Jones. Nobody knows Luke Cage. Nobody knows Iron Fist.
Well, I would disagree with that. That's highly racist. A lot of the Black community, as a matter of fact, Luke Cage and Black Panther were some of the highest comic books selling in the Black community, especially for the times that it came back. So, all right, let's calm down your racism.
The Black community that accounts for what 25% of America's population. That community, this minority community. Wow, sales were so big in one sector. Wow.
No.
Okay. Overall numbers, guy. Daredevil is more well known than all of the Defenders combined.
Very true, though. No, that's true. And
how many movies? How many movies does Luke Cage have? 0. How many movies does Jessica Jones have? 0. How many movies does the Punisher have? Technically, you could say he's about to have a third one if you count the special as a movie.
Oh, I mean, we're going to count that as a movie because we want Jon Bernthal to have one movie under his belt.
I mean, I think that they will be in other movies going down the road, but I don't know. It seems like your emotional response is clouding your analytical side of thinking.
Fucking hated it. Fine, you talked me up. I'm 5. That's as high as I'll go.
Dude, I gave this episode an 8.
Oh my god, that's too. How the fuck is that?
Because it was one of the episodes where it's minimal on the action, and I thoroughly enjoyed all of the short and concise conversations. Not to mention, you said, I didn't like that Matt Murdock showed up in the courtroom. I love that he showed up in the courtroom. That's fucking genius. Because the court case isn't about Karen. It's about the camera. It's about everybody else being able to see the accusations being laid out.
All of that, but for me, I just think it. I just didn't like it. I don't like any of it.
I think there should be cameras in every courtroom so that you don't have to rely on somebody else contextualizing what's happening in a proceeding behind closed doors.
I will tell you what I did like, though. I did like the setup outside when they tried to murder him. When they were walking.
Okay, that was one scene I didn't entirely understand.
They set it up earlier with the cop when he said, "I could take care of him." You don't remember that conversation?
No, I'm saying the context in which it happened didn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, Matt Murdock's there, and it's like, okay, walk out the front door. They're going to kill you in broad daylight as a lawyer? No. Like, trying to sneak him out the back door in a darkened parking garage, obviously you're going to get attacked instead of just like, oh, are the cops leaving? No? Well, then we should probably walk right past them. They're not going to fucking murder him in the courtroom.
I'm thinking they figured it like, remember in Batman?
That was a way dumber choice than killing off Danielle.
Well, I was thinking that they were thinking it in the way. No, I'm saying it's a stupid choice, but I just like the aesthetics in that one scene. It was where I go, ooh. But I also
I would agree with that.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I wasn't looking at the context of any of this stuff, and keep in mind, this is before I knew the Daniel thing was coming up. PB, the truth is, I was fucking bored in this episode. I was bored. There were, like you said, there were fleeting moments where I was entertained. Just like it's kind of like a switch, like where you were saying, which episode was it? Where I was like, oh, I found the conversations engaging, and you were like, I thought it was boring. It was that one Maul episode. It always comes back to Maul. How are we always coming back to Star Wars? Anyways,
That's the best show on at the moment.
It's the best one. Watch it. 9s and 10s. I'm sorry. We had to drop the score. It was a sad day. We had to go to 9.5.
Right. Disaster.
Disastrous. But no. And this is where I liked The Boys a lot more.
I missed this comment before. Boom. I don't know what I said 12 minutes ago, but it was good.
But yeah. For me, and once again, this is before I knew about Daniel's death. Okay.
Yeah.
The episode just was not engaging. It wasn't it for me. I didn't find anything.
I don't know. This was the first episode. This is the first episode where Heather had a scene that I was engaged with.
I fucking hate
when she took the earring.
Stupid and forced.
When she took the earring, I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, okay, well, that was weird. And then we did a little choking thing inside her. I was like, we're getting fucking weirder now. And then Fist confronts her about it. And I was like, oh, shit's hitting the fan now. And he says, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it essentially boiled down to, I still need you. Which I don't understand why you think, as much as I don't care for her, and you could just give exposition, because you could have the lawyers say, well, I have this report from Dr. Heather we don't give a fuck about. Right? You could do that. You don't necessarily need her there for it, but I was engaged with that scene mostly because it's got Fisk in it, and you never know specifically how he's going to react. Like, I didn't necessarily think he was going to kill the freaking boxing coach. Punches him into the wall and cracks his fucking face in a million pieces.
I will say the only other scene I'm really engaged with was him and Karen. Brilliant. And I love how he grabbed her through the bars. It was like poking her with one hand.
I mean, I give it an 8 because I have a problem with them sneaking Matt out the fucking back door for no apparent reason. And him having the conversation with Bullseye with his mask on. It seems totally fucking I give it a 5 because
it's fucking boring to me, and I hated. And this, let me give a little thing. Personal bias alert. Personal bias alert. Can we make that fair?
Sure.
They killed Michael Gandolfini, and I got a huge fucking issue with it. So that for me might be the sharp 5-point deduction. In my mind, they killed the best side character the show created, and I feel like personally there was more things, and I know I'm against this normally, but because he's such a fucking great actor, I feel like you could have had him at least one more season. I think it would have been more interesting. Maybe my issue is how
they would have had to slow roll propaganda guy. Like, this goes hand in hand with, do we both agree that Fisk ain't going to be mayor in Spider-Man?
Oh, 100%.
So something has to happen in the next episode that stops him from being mayor.
I'm thinking him kill the governor.
From leaks of season 3, he doesn't get killed.
So yeah, well, we know out of all of the characters, the two safest are Daredevil and.
Well, I'm quite certain there's going to be whatever the version of is impeachment for the mayor of New York. I don't know what you got to do in New York. You have your city council get together and get rid of them or whatever. What?
Yeah, the city council's got to take a majority vote.
Right, but he's also going to lose his support on the other side because the governor is going to withdraw the charter. So he's going to have no political support. And he's going to have no criminal support.
And yeah, and with Vanessa gone and the moves that he made,
no emotional support.
Yeah, and remember too, he also kind of fucked himself over in the crime world because last season he had cut the ties in an effort to try to do. Because remember, that's what the whole last season was about: can the guys. So he kind of fucked himself over too in the criminal world. And the original Daredevil run, his whole thing, like in the original Daredevil Netflix run, you don't meet Kingpin till like the 3rd episode. Like his whole thing they built around was him being in the shadows, the guy you never see. There was a whole thing where they didn't even speak his name because, you know, no one wanted to come out. And then the big arc was he stepped out into the light and made himself known. Well, as we're seeing, which I do think is brilliant that they keep it, is when you take that step out and you put a face to the name, well, now you can be prosecuted, you could be found, you could be arrested. So now, and to become the mayor or whatever, he's had to cut those ties or cut ties, you know, to make himself look clean. So now he's also fucked over people who could have helped him out. So that's going to be interesting to see exactly what they're going to do with his character. Because I will say, one, so excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Probably one of my most anticipated movies besides Mando and Grogu. Would you not agree? Pretty hyped.
Everything movie can only make it up to 2nd on my list of movies I'm hyped for.
Why? What's your first?
Fucking Doomsday.
That's like my 4th.
Holy fuck! I'm more excited for a Spider-Man movie than an Avengers movie. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Like I said, Marvel still has a lot of proven itself.
And I don't know, my excitement for Mando and Grogu is high, but I'm also just a little bit skeptical that it's essentially just going to be an extended television episode.
I mean,
like they're going to take 2
I'm
or
not
3
mad about that though. If we're going to go
together,
I'm not mad about it.
But I also am unsure if I'm going to be able to go and see it in the theater because of the wee little Tedward.
That could be an issue.
Like, I'm not going to be the asshole that takes the baby to the theater and then the baby fucking cries and ruins the movie experience for nobody sitting around me because, you know, it's a theater nowadays.
All right. So, yeah, big disappointment for me. Apparently not so much for you. I think it'll be.
And I knew exactly what was when you're like, oh, the last 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm watching the episode and I was like, okay, this didn't piss him off. This didn't piss him off. This didn't piss him off. As I'm going through, I was like, wow, we even got some Heather scenes. Those didn't piss him off. I mean, I liked the scene where she was freaking slapping Karen in the face. That was hilarious.
I'm
not saying that we needed it for the story or anything. I mean, the only thing that it did reveal is that I am quite positive that Karen loves Frank more than she loves Matt.
Having been a fan of the Netflix and seen more, so I have more context to the Matt and Frank thing, I'm not going to say you're wrong because they haven't given a definitive thing, but I would say watch the older shows because there is, especially a Daredevil season 2 when they first introduced the Punisher. Even I have gone, is there something between? It was like, but I can tell you with 100% certainty, they've never done anything, but it's one of those weird relationships. And, you know, anybody at home, you can, where you have that person who's a friend, who's a girl, and there's always been that kind of weird thought in your mind. Like, if the situation presented itself, maybe, but we don't go there. Like, if the last day on Earth, and we're the only two, it's happening. But on an every daily basis, we're just friends. That's what I feel like it is. I feel like Frank is like, if I fuck Daredevil's girl, that's an argument we're not going to come back from. And they already have philosophical debates. And even the fucking Punisher knows You don't fuck another man's girl. You're welcome.
Especially when he can hear it happening from across the city.
Oh man, dude, that would be a funny sketch. Okay, talking about this has made me slightly happier. Maybe I'm putting a bias. I'm not gonna go to a fucking 8. I don't think it's that great of an episode. I'll give it a 7 because maybe I might be pissing.
It was a very much talk heavy episode. That is for sure.
I'll give it a 7.
Which was weird because for as much talking as there was, they were not in the courtroom for an extended period of time.
Okay, but could you see my position on a very low 7? And I mean, you talked me into working this. Well, that's why we have 2 reviewers, because if I did my review yesterday, I would have fucking 2. So, creators of Daredevil, you need to thank this man over here because he got me refocused and did highlight.
Yeah, you were very tunnel visioned there for a minute.
And I still stand by my position. And I think we are in agreement. The pacing is off. Story structure seems weird. And I don't mean certain character stories.
Well, the real question is, like, obviously Buck had a problem doing what he had to do. Because I don't know if Buck has any real friends, but if he does have any real friends, I would say that Danielle was his best friend. Like, he got him to eat street meat and he don't even know what's in it.
And so, goddamn, you're gonna put me in an angry place.
I wasn't entirely sure that.
No, that's great acting though.
I wasn't. I thought that he might let him go there at the end. Like, he beat him, he beat him, and then I was like, wait a second. You beat him with the gloves on, and then you take the gloves off to shoot the gun. Which for a moment I was like, well, that's retarded. And then I was like, wait a second. I don't want to get blood on my gun either.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
Evidence, man.
No, but I thought that he was going to go the teal crowd. So I can't remember the episode off the top of my head, but when after, I want to say beginning of season 3, and Teal gets brainwashed and they got to take the Gould out of his stomach so that he has his life flash before his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then he doesn't kill the freaking Jaffa that Apophis told him to kill. He lets him go and he takes a Gould from somebody who was already dead on the battlefield. And I was like, yeah, I killed him. Look. I thought that he might go down that route. Like, oh, yeah, Fisk. Yeah, I took him out.
Okay, where are we going? Okay.
I thought that Buck was going to be Teal'c in this scenario. Okay, Kingpin is Apophis. And he's going to be like, well, yeah, I killed him. Because he didn't take any proof. It's not like he cut his head off and he put it in a bag or something. It's not like he took a picture of him with a bullet in his head. He just shot him and he walked away.
And this is the thing that pisses me off more, is that his interview made sense, which made me more angry.
Whose interview? What are you talking about?
On the podcast, they have an interview with the actor who plays Buck. And they brought up a great point that I didn't even think of. The show's creator said, if you notice this season, Buck actually kills way more people. He never killed anybody in the first season. And I was like, shit. So I went back through and I was looking at some of them, and they're right. Every time he goes to kill someone, he always missed them. Like in one of the episodes, he was supposed to kill Daredevil, didn't get to him on time. Another episode, he was supposed to kill someone, he didn't get to him on time. So they wanted, because they were building him up as this badass, they wanted to show how dangerous he was so the audience knew. And that's where the whole scene was born of him. They were like, okay, what if this person he becomes friends with, it shows the killer inside of him? He was like, the fact that even though he could like someone, he could be close with someone, he could regret doing what he's doing. At the end of the day, if that person has his loyalty, that's who he's committed to. And I was like, these motherfuckers. Because on paper and what they're saying, it makes complete sense. Like, look, here's the thing. The scene makes sense. And I'm just going to say, because this is going to sound weird with how much this pisses me off. My favorite scene in this episode is that whole scene. The acting. Mwah. Can we agree? It's probably one of the best acted scenes. I would almost contend in this season, if we're being honest. Just the whole entire thing, like him with BB. He made BB better this season. Because we all really like BB in the
he's made every character better that shares a scene with him.
Yeah. It was the first time I actually fucking cared about BB. How many times do we go, oh yeah, BB was the greatest? What about that BB report? Isn't she so interesting?
No.
She's
only interesting because she was connected to Daniel and was essentially his downfall.
Wouldn't it be hilarious now if she just fucking disappears and we never see her again?
I mean, she is going to disappear.
They pull a Star Wars with Rose Tico, where she just fucking vanishes and we don't ever see her again. Her storyline's done.
I mean, I don't know how much more we will see her as an individual, but I feel like we're definitely still going to see her work.
I hope not.
I mean, okay, so let's say Fisk gets removed. Where the fuck does the story go then? Like, who does Daredevil fight next season?
I mean, that's where I hope.
We accept your apology, Carmen.
Yeah, Carmen, never have to apologize. We're just glad to have you. Anyways,
are you saying you don't accept her apology?
This son of a bitch talked me up, but only as far as a 7. I can admit when I'm a little passionate, I'm a villain. I'm a Kryptonian. I did the Johnny Lawrence today. As soon as that happened, I felt like that scene where he got depressed. Remember, to the goat wheelchair Miguel. I felt like that Johnny Lawrence arc where I was just I got a 12-pack of Coors Banquets and I was like, fuck this show. I don't need them. I don't need anyone.
So I know. So you were super pissed about the show. Little less pissed about it now. You want to know what you can do to be in an even better mood?
Hit me, man, because I got to tell you. I mean, Daniel's dead, man. What could you possibly tell me that would lift my spirits?
I could tell you that you can save 15% at moviepalette.com when you enter code ZONE15 and get yourself a quality piece of art on premium canvas. Guaranteed to arrive before Christmas.
And right now, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty positive that at some point they will have Daredevil Born Again.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it would... with shows like this, it works better because you only have the little 8 strips on it, which it'd be I mean, looking at a couple of the shows that I looked at before, it's interesting to see how the palettes will change between episodes or how the whole thing will progress. Some shows get darker, some shows get lighter, and then if you've seen the show, you're like, oh, I guess that does fit.
Yeah. Then I can mark the place where I think that Daniel died at.
I mean, it's pretty easy. So, it'll be either the last strip of color or the second to last strip of color.
Okay, I'm feeling slightly better. Now let me make a coherent thought. Thank you, people. Now that you're starting, I'm gonna get professional again. I was pissy. I think we can all agree. I think I even saw online there were a lot of people who are feeling it, but in all seriousness, I was harsh. Thank you, PB, for talking me from the ledge.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: on the TV Time app, right? Let's go back and look at it again. So TV time lets you do 1 to 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, 1 is bad, 5 is wow on this. And I gave it an 8, so I gave it 4 stars. Not a lot of people hate the episode because it's sitting, like, when you look at the numbers, a lot of shows, like, if a show is phenomenal, it'll be like over 90% 5 stars. Like, you'll still get some in the other numbers. You get you get 1% on the freaking 1 star still or something like that because, people are fucking weird. But whatever. This one right now is sitting at 79%, whereas the episode of The Boys is sitting at a 59% of 5 stars. So the crowd thinks that The Boys episode was worse than Daredevil.
Fuck the crowd. This is where I disagree.
Oh, the crowd is so wrong.
I'll get to that. And I'm going to say this is, and I hate to be that guy, this is where I think there's the feelings. So we talked about this with the politics and stuff. You're going, especially where they go in that episode. I fucking guarantee you a lot of it is the feelings. And we said before, that's why it's dangerous treading those waters. Because look at who's watching these things. We'll get to that. But I'm going to settle on a 7. But my point remains, and I am glad you did validate me, that we can agree.
Oh, you're welcome.
The pacing is still a serious issue in this show. While the acting is top tier, and we hadn't noticed anything, let's say, mechanically wrong in this episode, unlike fucking go see my rant on my shorts about the fucking boat. I swear to God.
Well, right. I mean, the stuff that I said was wrong with them sneaking them out the back. I don't know how you make that make sense, but him talking to Bullseye with the mask on, that's just a preference of mine. I was like, I think you could have done it without the mask because he knows who he is, but doing it with the mask doesn't change the scene.
And it doesn't change
what happened.
Acting in the scene. It's just...
Well, I mean, it changes the amount that we can see. Like, when you can see all of Charlie Cox's face, you get a lot more emotion than when you can only see his lower half.
And it's going back to that, it's kind of a weird choice because Charlie Cox is such a great actor. And keep in mind, folks, Charlie Cox is not blind in real life. And the way, if you guys don't know the history, in the original Daredevil series, Charlie Cox spent numerous times with the blind. And Karen Page, I forget her actual real name, Deborah Wool, her husband is blind.
I thought you were going to say she spent a lot of time at the wig store.
No, her husband is blind. That's why she chose, it's fucking interesting when you hear, she chose to be on Daredevil because her husband is blind, and they were like, oh, do you want to play this character, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of Daredevil season 1, the movements and the things she does is because she has experience with blind people, which I thought was always kind of cool. And the way that their chemistry is working, stuff like that, she relates it a lot to her homeland. That's why they seem like they have a really good connection because she actually knows about it or whatever else. That's a thing where, you know how we hear all these people, we need to get blind people to play blind roles, blah, 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 blah.
No, man, I was just having that thought about how they're like, well, you need to be the thing to play the thing. And I was like, that's like the antithesis of what acting is. That is what makes
an actor
Peter Dinklage. Well, I was going to say, that's what makes Peter Dinklage an amazing cast for a giant in the Avengers.
Also,
love it.
Let's just go back to
Not
Peter.
To mention, I want everything to be opposite. That's why I love Tropic Thunder so much.
Let's go back to Peter Dinklage.
You're a white guy to play a black guy. Genius.
Let's forget about how. Okay, so in Game of Thrones, right? Peter Dinklage's character as Tyrion, one of my favorite, right? He is the smartest. Take out the last season, the last 2. Just going off of like seasons 1 through 5. He's the season's in my mind, he is the smartest in all of Game of Thrones. Can we agree on that? Like, he's not the strongest.
Are you equating intelligence to cleverness?
Well, I would even say he's both. He's highly intelligent, and he shows that. And
I'm not sure exactly. If we're talking about raw intelligence, I would say that pretty much all of the Maesters are more intelligent than Tyrion. They know more. They've studied more. Tyrion knows people, which is what makes him clever because he can read people.
He's clever with how he uses his intelligence.
I mean, if by in that regard, I would say yes. If by intelligence you mean knowledge collected, like he knows lots of things, he talks to lots of people.
Exactly. It's not just being intelligent, right? Because, okay, we were talking about this in my real life job. There's someone who I won't say their name. The person that I work with is fucking retarded when they speak. Let's just say they hail from a country that they're legitimately like Spanish from like Spain. Did not know nothing about the Fountain of Youth or Conquistador, right? But they're studying to be an engineer. And they're fucking Catholic, right? Because in that field, in that specific thing, you ask them anything, and they look like fucking Albert Einstein, right? They got that intelligence. But in life, in people, in knowing basic shit, they're fucking stupid. And then you got
I went to high school with a girl like that. She was the valedictorian, but she had zero emotional intelligence. Like you couldn't have a normal conversation with her. It was so fucking weird.
Like you or me, right? I'm not the most, let's say, well read, whatever else, but I know people, and I've been through experiences in my life where I can make certain choices. And like with you, well, you're kind of a double threat because you do have some things that that I'll never fucking understand, like with how things work and the mechanics of things. You've always been good at that. But also, too, you've got a very good mind when we do these reviews of picking things out that maybe I would never see, right? We've got that. Whereas if you probably ask us...
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, I'm just speaking the truth. Now, if you ask us book shit, or you put us to do some kind of a test that's going to evaluate where we are in the grand scheme of things, we may be 50-50 on that. We may do good in certain parts, but we ain't going to fucking ace it. We're not.
Right, don't give me any trigonometry. Fine. I fucking gave up on that shit.
That's what I mean. And now, that kind of stuff I find like central to these characters. So what I'm saying is my issues with Daredevil and why I like the boys more, and spoilers, I'm going to give this boys episode an 8. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. But it's that I feel like there's stuff the show does very strong. And it's why we get into these debates, which, don't get me wrong, even though I'm pissed, I would still say, watch this season. I got into my feelings a bit. It happens. I'm fucking human. I guess that's a nod to the writing.
Hold on. Did you just say you're fucking human?
PE, I'm supposed to be taking over. I'm human. No one's supposed to know we're here. Damn it! I'm making moves.
Yeah, fucking Viltrumites.
See, I'll show the Viltrumites how it's done. Anyways, my point being, I guess maybe we could look at this in the inverse. Maybe it's credit to the writers that I'm so angry about this episode. Maybe this is a great episode because they got me so pissed off. I don't know. We'll have to see let me ask you something. Are you still are you feeling like me where like you feel like you have to see what this all comes to by episode 8 to see where you land as far as everything?
I mean, the overarching story, like
Yeah.
it's either. I feel like it's not gonna just be okay. They're either gonna stick the landing and we're gonna be like, damn near perfect, or they're gonna face plant.
I'm in total agreement. Total agreement. I think this is one of those weird cases that either we're going to look back on this and I'm going to say, wow, episode 7, I was such a fucking idiot. Like, now that I see the plan, these guys are brilliant. I won't doubt you ever again, or that adorable face. Look, he's sticking his tongue out. You're already teaching him bad shit, PB. Come on.
He's chunky.
He is a little chunky monkey.
We're trying to get him chunkier. Apparently, you got to fatten your baby up if you want him to grow.
Have him beat up all the other kids.
I mean, he does do rather well in Baby Fight Club.
Good. You gotta build. You gotta Wilson Fisk him. He needs to be
Dude,
slamming.
I'm looking at him on the screen because I'm just waiting for him to puke on me. Gonna run down my fingers. It's gonna be nasty, just like a bunch of the scenes in The Boys.
Okay, so let's. So you gave this episode an 8. You gave it a 7. I think we expended enough energy. I gotta say, this is the first episode I was really on a big emotional roller coaster with this review.
I mean, the episode itself also felt like an emotional roller coaster. I mean, especially just separating all of the characters, because they don't intermingle a whole lot in this episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Daniel's essentially on his own. We're following him. Matt's essentially on his own. We're following him. Kingpin's definitely on his own.
Kingpin's off doing his own thing. Karen, she's on a separate emotional journey.
I don't know if I would consider us necessarily following Karen. She isn't focused on as much in this episode as I thought she was going to be. Being that they're allegedly doing everything above board.
I think 8 is going to be the real test to see how, like, I know they're getting another season, so we know for certain none of this is going to be resolved, right? And I'm fine with that. And I'm not asking for that, but you kind of, I think we might be in the same boat here. I just want something satisfying to get me excited for the next season.
She's sitting across the room.
Well, she gets me excited all the time. Talk about television, not that.
You can record her and put it on the television.
Hey, you're going to get me demonetized.
Why was she showing a little bit of ankle?
You know how I get when she shows ankle. Oh, PB, it's racy. She's showing collarbone.
Holy fuck balls.
I know. Dude, I can't even.
Avert your eyes, little baby. No, look at the screen.
Don't look. We could corrupt you at a young age.
Okay, let's talk about the other show.
Okay, so 8-7. We didn't. I was so pissy and we ranted for so long.
Oh fuck, we didn't even talk about our favorite scenes, did we?
Yeah, favorite scenes. You know mine.
Favorite scene. The last scene is the best scene of the whole episode. It was amazing.
Wow, so we both agree.
Yeah, but
that happened.
But I feel like your favorite scene is the last scene, and your least favorite scene is the last scene.
Nailed it. Here's the thing. I've heard people say this, and I think we can both agree with this statement. 2 things can be true at the same time. You can like how something goes down, and you can hate how something goes down.
Well, you like how it went down. You hate that it did go down.
Bingo. And here's the thing. Can we both agree that this might be the best performance? And I'm making a bold, sweeping statement.
Dude, he needs to get an Emmy for supporting actor.
Dude, if he doesn't get nominated, well, we know the Emmys are a sham, but like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, I've never seen an actor who's, like you say, a side character, but feels like they're a main character and literally makes everybody better by being in the scene with them. Like, when you think about throughout this whole entire arc he's went on, right? Both seasons, he has literally made every character so much better by interacting with. Like, Buck has become like maybe a second favorite of mine, but mainly it's been because every bit of growth we get from Buck, and they've said this in the podcast as well. The actor said it himself. By interacting with Danielle, it's made this character and kind of fleshed him out more. And that's
I think my least favorite scene is Fisk and Karen.
See, I disagree. That was the one that got me actually engaged.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it was my least favorite.
I mean,
I found it slightly ridiculous that she decided to move within range when he's on the other side of a steel cage.
Okay, I can see why you would.
Like that individual moment of her going within range. Not that he couldn't necessarily have the cage opened. Like, I don't think he could have physically broken the steel to get in, but he could have just told somebody to open it for him because he's Fisk. But he didn't, and he was in there alone, essentially. And the fact that she decided to go within his reach was ridiculous.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think maybe that's purposely done because she wants to antagonize him? Because that's the feeling I got and why.
Well, after she said that she was terrified, I don't think so.
I mean, but do you think maybe in her mind she was thinking he wasn't going to do that? Because I don't know.
No, I don't think that, because I mean, if Fisk puts you in a cage, he can essentially do whatever he wants at that point. Like, I know that she was booked up to that point, but how many times have people gotten booked and then they die before trial?
Yeah, but do you think...
Because that's never happened in an American jail before.
Well, I was thinking it as she was thinking he wants to parade her around as an example, which is the case, what he wanted to do. So my takeaway was she was thinking she was safe because this is not where he wants to kill her. He wants to use her as the example. So she has that comfort, like, oh, he's not going to take it too far because he's using her as an example, which is what he flat out says in one scene. So maybe I took it as being overconfident, and then she was scared after she realized, like, man, he could just fucking go at any moment. Like, the thing that was keeping him from thinking logically is fucking dead. Like, I really like, let me say now, I really like where Fisk is at as a character, because I feel like they've taken the handcuffs off, which makes him feel like what he felt like for me in Daredevil, the Netflix.
There it is. I told you he's going to freaking puke on me. You son of a bitch.
And there we go. The big moment.
Relax, guy. Oh, give me a moment. Continue to talk.
Okay, so, me personally, I took the scene as, and in the comments, let me know. I would love to hear from other people as well. How you felt. Did you think that the scene doesn't work because it doesn't make sense, or do you think she was being or whatever?
I think that they wrote that intentionally so that we could have the dramatic moment, which I believe is a stupid choice, because if you're trying to survive to take Fisk down, You're not going to put yourself inside of his range.
But is Kara really trying to survive? Because there's a lot of things she does in this episode that makes me feel as if she is. How do I put it?
I mean, her whole story arc is her whole story is taking down Fisk.
Yeah, but it's also been this kind
and
of
her struggle in the season has been what it means to take him down, because she wants to kill him, and Daredevil doesn't.
Well, also too, she's been
have
quite
the whole
reckless.
Conversation of "You're not this kind of person, Karen," and she's like, "I think I am."
No. But see, this is where I relate this to Frank Castle, right? Frank Castle wants to take somebody down, but he does not give a shit about his own life. Now, if I'm relating this to Karen, I feel like she's kind of taken that personality from Frank, where she wants this person to die. She wants this person to go to justice. But I'm almost getting a feeling, and like maybe the writers didn't intend this, or maybe this is what the writing is trying to convey, that she is less caring about if she makes it or if she's going to live. I'm getting a very like she just doesn't give a shit how it's going to get done, and if she dies, so be it kind of attitude. And maybe that's just me. I don't know if I'm crazy or if you kind of pick up on it, but it just
first of all, you're definitely crazy regardless of this review.
But it feels very like a very nonchalant, like she doesn't particularly care about her well-being when she's doing these things, and she's not thinking everything through. And I think that's another thing they've been highlighting in this season, is that all of these things that she says, Matt has made some pretty good points of why, just from a logistical perspective, it doesn't make sense to like rush in and attack the 50 guys. You know, it feels like she's beaten up, she's worn down, she's tired, and she's becoming reckless. And that was, and once again, they don't fucking say on the podcast, so I can't say for certain. Like, I'm not going to give the writers too much credit, but I kind of feel like that's what they're trying to convey. She's being more careless and not really caring about herself necessarily. Kind of like Frank Castle.
I don't know if careless is the word. I would use the word brazen.
Oh, it's more of do something first and then think about the consequences later.
Yes.
And
I mean, that's how she got caught.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I took that scene. It felt like she was just trying to antagonize, but she wasn't thinking about he's going to fucking grab her and start choking her through the bars, even though he's close. But when you get those blinders, perfect example, myself. Earlier in this review, I had blinders on. And I needed my Daredevil to tell me, hold on. Are you mad about this? Or are you mad about this? Like, sometimes you get so angry and you get tunnel visions that you're not looking objectively at everything else. So maybe the writing is genius. Or maybe I'm just giving the writers too much credit. Who the fuck knows? We'll see by episode 8.
Yep. I mean, episode 8 could make 7 way worse, and it could make it marginally better.
It could make it where I go, yeah, okay.
Like, I don't want to be sitting here going, wait a second, that's what's happening? Why the fuck did this happen in the previous episode? Which is possible.
It is. We could say, why did Daniel have to die in 7? He could have died in 8. You motherfuckers. God, I think I'm always going to be salty. This is going to be a season I'm going to remember. But maybe credit to the writers once again.
I mean, I'm surprised. What they could have done is they could have just literally cut that scene off of the end of the episode and put it at the start of the next one.
No,
like, he could have went in there and he could have been like literally end it with, "Where's BB, Daniel?" Cut to black.
See now, then you're probably like at a 9 because now I'm like on the edge of my seat.
Right.
Yeah. This is what that's what I mean by the way the story is structured at times.
Yes, that would have affected the pacing very much.
Yeah, it's very I hope they get it under control by the next season. So let's talk about the one I've been waiting to talk about. Boys, season 5, episode 5.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Maul Shadow Lord.
God, let's talk. PB, can we talk about Star Wars? This is the first time where you're like, we got to stay on point. And I'm like, Star Wars? Can we talk about Star Wars again?
You're not going to get me to argue for no Star Wars talk. And fuck you for trying to put me in that position.
So, boys, I'm going to say now, I would like to hear disagreements, and I may know what you might have issues with, but I'm going to open the floor because I started with a rant. So, I got to use the restroom, but while I'm doing that, tell the audience what you thought of this episode and all that.
Oh, gosh. There's a lot of, I can't believe that just happened in this episode. But on the other side, my biggest issue was doing this whole breaking it down by characters thing where you're following one character and then it's like, now we're following this character and now we're following this character. I couldn't tell all of the time, was this a flashback and we're leading up to this point, or was this not a flashback? Because when they do the Firecracker one, they make it seem like it's not a flashback, but then when you get to the end of the conversation with her former pastor, then they're right back in the boardroom in the spot where we were just at. So that one was a flashback. But then when we're following Terror, I don't think it's a flashback.
Oh, so I knew it. You want to hear something? Okay. I fucking knew I could pick out what was bugging you when I watched the structure of the episode. I immediately said, if PB deducts points from this, it's going to be the way that they did this, because this was a complaint in another episode that we did. Me personally, I found it very fascinating. And unlike you, I do like...
No, I liked the following of the character. I didn't like the way that it was... Oh, gosh. I guess we'll go with the word edited. I didn't like how it was edited, that you can't specifically tell, but because they're all the same. Like, we're following this person's perspective, now we're following this person's perspective, now we're following the dog's perspective, or whatever. But one of them's a flashback, and one of them isn't a flashback.
Yeah, like we do Soldier Boy, all at that table, and then we do Sage, still at that table. Now she goes this way, he goes this way. I knew what I seen that. I thought it was brilliant. Personally, that's why I'm at an 8. But I understand what you're saying, because we said this with Invincible. It's confusing to see, okay, which one was earlier in the day and then which one is current time. And I do agree with you. That is an editing. And the thing about it is, it's very simple fix. What they could have done is put a timestamp, like a 24 of them used to do, right? Show like blah, 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 5. And then, okay, this is at 5.
Well, I mean, they could have did the timestamp like how they do the timestamps in Young Justice.
Exactly.
You get a timestamp almost every time you switch scenes. So you're like, okay, a day has gone by.
Yeah, that way, as an audience member, you could go, oh, so his perspective was from this chunk of time, so we're going back, right? And then you could go Terra 6, right? And then do that thing. And you could see within the parts of the day where everyone was at. So even if we're flashing back and we're getting, okay. So
I presume that there's a bunch of people out there that are pissed off about the terror scenes because it doesn't move the story forward. It's literally for entertainment purposes only.
I disagree. We have the talk with and Butcher, which we don't
about already saying that he's a dead man. That talk.
But to me, that progresses the feeling, that progresses, and we have the whole thing with Stewie too, or Stu. Why do I always call him Stewie?
Huey?
Huey.
His head's not quite football shaped enough to be Stewie.
We need to clip that 141. we have the talk with Huey where you do have those character moments. Oh, she's getting ready for the day. You know, she thinks she needs to get her.
If we stream for another 3 hours, then she'll be ready.
But
I'll burn.
For me, I see what you're saying. It doesn't progress the story per se forward, but I feel like it progresses the character forward because it shows Huey starting to soften to Butcher because the arc has been fuck you, Butcher, right?
But he did have the heaviest question of anybody in the entire season so far. What if it was Becca?
And that's what I mean. So I agree with you. Yes, in a general sense, we're not progressing this story that's going on throughout the day. But what we are progressing is the characters' interactions and the character growth. So, I mean, we're really splitting hairs. So let me ask you this. Do you think it's a waste of time progressing a character growth in this fun little way? Does it really take away anything? When you think about it, it's fucking hilarious.
The terror part of the
character growth.
The terror section. I don't know what you want to call these.
Yeah, we'll say perspective.
The terror perspective is the best part of this entire episode.
Ironic you point out a flaw in it, but it was. I agree. Fucking hilarious. Dude, the thing with Homelander and he's holding the fucking
I mean, yeah, I don't consider it a flaw. I said other people are going to say that it didn't do anything for the story and we're so close to the end. How come we're wasting time on this dog? And I was like, it's a dog. And he literally has I said to the woman when we were watching it, I was like, I would love to know what Anthony Starr thought when they're like, we need you to go out in the grass, get on all fours, and hold a turkey leg and be like, you want to fuck me?
Dude, from what I hear, and
that's one of the funniest things I've seen in the entire show ever.
Actually, I don't mean to flex here, but actually, Anthony Starr does follow me, and I also I look at his account. He's actually sent me a couple of messages too. Not to. Sorry, my arms are stretching.
Toot.
But from what I gather, dude, he has a blast. He is one of those actors that, and I was watching a whole video on this, and go check it out. It was in my feed. I forgot who the person is. Maybe if I can find them, I'll put their link in the next week's subscription because I'm not going to do it this week. But they did a whole video on Anthony Starr and just where he's come from to where he is now. And like from what I hear on the Boys set, man, and I gotta say, it's looking like this is going to be a really strong end to a show. But man, they have so much fun with this. Like, you could tell everybody's having a good time. You know what I mean? And you could feel it in the show. So let me say this. I don't feel, and this is the contrast. I'm going to go from Daredevil episode 7 to episode 5 of The Boys. I don't feel that pace issue. Do you feel like they're dragging?
I mean,
for me,
my issue.
I can't point to a weak.
No, the issue is everybody knows it's the final season, and it seems like we're waiting. Like we shouldn't be stuff should be happening. We shouldn't be waiting for stuff to happen because it's the final season.
See,
overall, it feels like it's moving slower than it should with all of the things that we know are going to happen. And can we talk about the Sister Sage and Ashley scene?
Yes.
This is the worst fucking plan I've ever heard in my entire life. She's like, "Yep, we're gonna get the virus out there, and all of the soups are gonna know that the humans did it, and the soups are gonna kill all the humans, and the humans are gonna kill all the soups, and then I'll be able to read in peace." I was like, "Wait a second, that's not a fucking plan. That's like you go into your locker room and you're like, okay, guys, we got to go out there tonight and we got to score more points than the other team. That's our plan." That's not a plan.
Okay, can I just say something? One, I must be psychic this week. I fucking knew as soon as I heard it because I thought it was fucking stupid. I go, oh.
I mean, I don't know. I think that it's underwhelming. I don't know if it's necessarily stupid, but the fact that she said she had a plan and then didn't lay out any of a plan. I mean, doing the football analogy, that's like saying, okay, guys, our game plan, like how we are going to go after this team and the places that we're going to exploit is by putting more points on the scoreboard than them. Where is the plan? I would like the plan. Like she's like, yeah, tell me the plan. She's like, well, I would like to be able to read in silence. You like my plan?
Okay, so I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt here.
It was not good.
And I'm going to be reaching here. Now, I'm not going to argue with you that it's not good because I even said, that's it. That was the first thing I said when I was watching.
I don't care what her final, like, I don't care that her issue is, I want to be able to read in peace. Like, everybody's got their own thing, whatever. That's what your motivations are. But don't tell me you're telling me the plan and tell me exactly nothing.
I feel like if we look through the past seasons, right? I feel like the plan, and I'm just making a hypothesis.
Sister Sage's plan.
Yeah, Sister Sage's plan. And I'm just making a hypothesis based on what we've seen and what's been said. And it could be totally fucking even stupider than we think when we get to the ending. I feel like she is executing the plan by doing all these things in secret that we have seen. I think it's being satirical. I think the plan that she's implementing is moving these pieces into different positions. And because of how her mind works strategically, they should all converge at a point, right? She's going to have a Homelander go to here, but he's not finding the serum because she doesn't want him to become invincible. So, and then she's purposely sending Soldier Boy over to here with Homelander to try to intercept that. So I think we're seeing parts of the plan, but for the average viewer, like, not two assholes who are literally dedicating time to analyze the show. I can pull this stuff up, but if you're watching from week to week, I feel like you need to explain what the fuck you're doing. Like a throwaway line where you go, for instance, she is like, why do you think I have Homelander going here? Right? And by the way, I maneuvered the boys here. Right? I maneuvered Huey and them over here. I want to kill them. They got to get this. And then we can kind of infer, oh, okay, so since the beginning, she's known people are over here doing this, but she's not stopping them because she wants them to be in conflict. And then her grand design is she wants to fucking rape. But I see what you're saying. Like, you don't have to give the audience everything. We've talked about how that's an issue with writing these days. But there is a problem with being too fucking vague. Like, after 5 years, you have to give the audience something. You can't just say, Well, my overall arching design is I just want to read in peace. Which, funny, if we think about when Homelander first met Sister Sage, right? In season 4, she was fucking reading and honestly didn't want to be bothered. But she felt like, saying no to Homelander is not a good idea. And she's smart enough to know that. So I guess in a weird satirical way, it kind of makes sense to where she just wants to go back to being with her books and being left alone. On paper, this all makes sense. But in practice, when you've taken 2 seasons and 2 other seasons she's appeared on Gen V, and you've built it up like she's got this master scheme.
And the master scheme is to score more points than the other team.
You got to give the audiences something. And that's what can I say? Writing's hard. That's the balance, right? You got to know where to delegate information and where to play your cards close to the vest. And I feel like I've seen Eric Kripke's writing, okay? I will forever die on the hill. Supernatural season 5 was the best season of television. It was the end of the show. Fucking season 16 doesn't count. It never happened. 5 is where it ended for me. Perfect ending. The characters got the ending that they deserved. Kripke was gone. I believe the man is working towards a great final. The issue is I feel like he's playing too many cards close to the vest. You got to throw some aces out there, man. And we've seen brilliance, right? Killing off A-Train. It was a bold move, Cotton. It was a bold move. And I think it was expertly done.
This episode might have been the 2 saddest deaths I ever seen in this show.
And once again, he's not giving us no stakes, right? And he's not giving us shocking, surprising moments that make sense. It's that some of the pieces, I'm like, how are you going to get everybody by episode 8 and we're in 5? How are you going to get everybody where they need to be, where it's going to make sense? That's the concern.
Yeah, now there's only 3 episodes left, guy.
Come here. Hey.
What are you doing? Come over here, woman.
Come here.
Don't just abandon him.
Like this. When I'm emperor of the world,
like, don't vote for him.
Vote. It's funny you think I'd give people a choice. Come on,
you can do one of those votes like Kim Jong-un does.
Oh yeah,
like we let everybody in the country vote, and I've only got 100% of the vote.
All right, sexy.
Oh, you had to turn the camera off for this. That's provocative.
And you guys would never know what happened within that slight time I turned off the camera.
Everybody knows what happened. You're a quick trigger.
Hey, it's not the amount of time, it's how you use it.
Well, I'm not saying like Kryptonians can move pretty fast. You can probably get like more thrusts in 20 seconds than the average man.
True. I mean, Clark would say he's never run a. Fuck it.
Clark's a bitch.
That son of a bitch. You know what? He's got Lois Lane, so I'm not even jealous. That's somebody who's fucking in trouble every fucking second of her life. Dude, Lois Lane has got to be the most exhausting girlfriend in the world to have. Like every fucking 5 seconds.
Especially the new one.
Oh my God. She's like, honey, yeah, sorry to bother you, but I kind of tried to get a shot of a giant kaiju and the foot's about to come down on me. You think you can come and get me? Maybe save me? Okay, love you, sweetie. Bye. He's like, God damn it, woman. I was going grocery shopping and
No, it's like I was saving this bridge from collapsing, which had thousands of people on it, but I had to let it collapse and they all died because you couldn't not keep yourself and Jimmy away from the giant kaiju foot. Thanks.
Sorry, I thought he was faster than a speeding bullet.
And
It is, but you can still only do one thing at a time. You can still only do one thing at a time.
I see.
Unless you're using both hands. I guess you can do more than one thing at a time.
See, this is why. And the funniest part when we were talking about that, she actually likes to do love slate. I was like, I fucking was waiting for it because I was like, because
She's
it's
the worst part of the movie.
She was like, it's the same mentality. Oh, he's fast. He should be able to get there. We need to clip
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Okay. We could title it Why Superman Should Be Able to Save Lois and be thousands of people. Oh my god. So getting back to boys. Getting back to the boys.
This episode was good.
This episode to me was great, and I do have concerns about if they can pull it all together, but at the same time, and once again, I'm going off of track record. Okay. It's not like he came from Dexter the last season. It's like if we had a situation like that, I'd be like, we should be worried. But
who the hell is Bruno?
Oh, I think that's from that one Disney movie I don't like.
Okay.
I know you don't watch the new stuff. I forgot what it was called. Everybody fucking loved it.
I've seen some of the new stuff.
But anyways, my whole point is that I can see that because speaking of least favorite scenes, actually, let's just get it out of the way. That was my least favorite scene.
Which one?
What you just said, the Sister Sage plan, not her section, but just the plan. That to me ruined how interesting the setup was. It's one of those moments, and here's the thing. I've always been 50-50 about Sister Sage. The one thing that's kept me interested is the plan. So
the one thing that has kept me interested is her love for Taco Bell.
I fucking knew you were gonna say that. I
love Taco Bell. It's my favorite fast food restaurant.
Love hate, man.
Well,
love Taco Bell, but
it's my favorite nationwide fast food restaurant because they don't make their fries in beef tallow.
My issues with Taco Bell is like the young dictator works there. And
I know, she just told me that not too long ago.
Yeah, and I
thought that she was working at Culver's.
No, we can thank.
She goes, no, fuck them people. Live Moss.
Well, no, we could also blame her mom for that. Story for another day.
Okay.
Let's just say.
Tell me after.
Yeah. Anyways. The thing that I really love, and actually, okay, so I'm gonna say Tara's not my Tara's not my favorite scene. It's my favorite segment, but my favorite scene
is in the mansion.
Fucking dude, everything about this. I knew when they went to Soldier Boy, that was going to be my section. I just fucking had that feeling.
No, it's my favorite scene is most definitely the mansion segment with it's Will Forte, Seth Rogen. Oh, who the hell else was there? There's two other guys. The one guy from Superbad.
Who's McLovin.
Yeah, that's why I said the one guy from Superbad.
Yep.
Well, then who was the fourth guy? Why can't I think of who the fourth guy was?
Misha Collins from Supernatural. He played
Kumail.
Yeah.
Kumail was the one. You can't do anything to me. I'm yoked now. That's fucking hilarious.
That whole and here's the thing where I'm starting to think you're right that this is actually making the other side look bad. That whole scene, everything that's being said to where I'm like, can we? Because I know why people are going to put, or a lot of people are going to put low scores on this. I would argue this is the most balanced I've seen the boys now that I'm getting the whole picture of what they're doing in quite some time. This is the most balanced they've been talking about everything. Because I've said, I don't have a problem with putting statements if you're going to show both sides and shine a light on both things where both sides look ridiculous. And I feel like the last week we had the religion, the right, and all of that. And this, we get the fucking ridiculousness.
I fucking hate LA.
Twitter, or I'm sorry, X, but they used Instagram. I think they said Instagram or something. That dude, and those people were the fucking perfect people to get for this because, especially, dude, this is probably the best I've seen Seth Rogen in years.
It was pretty good.
Like, this is why I can't go lower than an 8 for me because everything is it appears to be working on such a level. And this remember, I was coming off of, and I'm glad I did this. I was coming off of episode 7 in my lowest point as a reviewer. And I needed this, and the whole mansion scene made me so giddy. I instantly was not angry anymore. I was just fucking laughing my ass off. And the great part is, and what I love the most, and this is what I'm talking about, where you could kill a cameo and it's still fun, dude. Jared Padalecki.
That's the only thing I was disappointed with. The amount of interaction, like direct interaction between the two of them, seemed like it was kept to a minimum.
But at the same time, I kind of respect it. You know what I mean?
It all still worked in the story. I don't review like that, General.
Okay, you know what? I, as a villain, can be a little passionate.
I'd say so.
I could let my feelings override my judgment. That's why I may have been beaten by Clark a couple of times, but not down. Just that doesn't count. It's not canon.
Okay.
Zack Snyder's world is an offshoot world. It never happened. It's no longer canon.
All of them are offshoot worlds, Guy.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yep, everything that isn't original Superman lifting the green fucking car up is an offshoot. I mean, you're telling me that Kingdom Come Superman is the same as frickin' Tyler Hoechlin Superman? Hoechlin? I don't know how you say his last name. It doesn't matter. Obviously not.
You know what?
You're gonna tell me that Brandon Routh Superman is the same as Brandon Routh Superman? Because it is not. He's the only guy in history that got to play two Supermen.
And I would argue he did
it better the second time.
I mean, I personally think, I don't know why, I feel like a lot of people shit on that movie, and I've rewatched it, and
the movie itself ain't great, but it does have my favorite individual moment in any Superman movie, when he gets shot in the eye and the bullet fucking crumbles against his eye and falls to the ground. I love that. That's beautiful.
I would say also, too, it's got my favorite version of Lex Luthor besides Smallville.
Yes, I would say it's the best. I mean, Nicholas Hoult does do a great job, but they didn't do a great job with him.
That's the thing that sucks. And remember,
they let him get beat up by a dog.
I'm not going to watch my fuck crypto. Go to my shorts and watch my fuck crypto short to get my ideas of how I feel about that. I did a whole fucking 3-minute rant on that. I'm not going into it again. Yeah, a lot of undercutting. But getting back to the boys, I would have to say this is a hard episode for me to pick my favorite moment because there's just so many great little individual moments in this episode. But I would have
if my favorite scene is the whole mansion scene with Jared Padalecki literally A-training people.
Yep.
Which, come to find out, like, I didn't know that he used to be in the 7. And he's like, I only lost one race. You didn't give me a chance to do it again. I could have been all hopped up on the V.
I did. And this is why I appreciated it more and why I'm saying he's the best little guest cameo that makes sense. Because go back into the original seasons, he is mentioned. Even the character of Marathon is mentioned when
I remember them saying Marathon Man.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about with good writing, right? And Vince Gilligan does this with with Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, right? When you have a good writer, that's such a little innocuous thing that they don't have to acknowledge at all, right? Doesn't really affect anything. It's a little at the time throwaway line. But this is where I'm saying I have strong faith that they're going to land the plane, because to have such attention to a detail you brought up years ago that you don't really have to bring back, it doesn't really. I mean, they worked it into making it important to the story. But then when you look at the whole scene, it really wasn't, because he didn't know where the guy was. But just the little nod, and you give him so someone who's watching it going, hey, they mentioned that season 1. And look, they're paying it off on the last season. Like, how do you feel about those little things? Because Breaking Bad did a lot of that, where like stuff you didn't think was going to be important, right? Or even ever brought up again. Boom. Final season.
I love stuff like that. I mean, my number one example of how that happens is, you remember the Pangarans in SG1? People with the funky eyes?
Yep.
Scorched Earth?
Yep.
So it's either the episode before that or 2 episodes before that, whatever mission they're going on in that particular episode, when they're in the embarkation room, because that's where the SG teams embark from. Stargate fans will get that. Daniel comes in and is like, oh yeah, we found a new planet for the Pangarans. We're going to get them all moved here shortly. And then you don't hear anything about, like, it has nothing to do with that episode at all, but it's just a little nugget place, and then boom, whole episode that centers around it. I love that kind of shit when they take the little details and blow them up so that you can actually see what's going on with the character.
And now here's the thing. Now that I brought that up to you and you remember it from prior season being brought up, doesn't it just add a little bit in your mind?
Well, yeah, it connects it together. So it connects it to make a picture instead of just adding another dot on the outside.
And this is the thing that with the boys where it's so hard for me in particular. And I
whoa. Don't stand up then.
Where it's rough to do these.
If it's rough, you got to loosen your grip.
Jesus Christ. Fucking guy. This is the thing about reviewing shows before everything comes out. Now, my vision for this and how I see this playing out is when everything's released and we got the full picture, I think every complaint and problem that I see in all these reviews will be fixed based upon how good the ending is. And I'm going to say good, because people are going to, I feel in my heart, this is going to be a good to great ending. At the very worst, it'll be good. Like, I don't personally foresee a Dexter Game of Thrones thing happening. And I'm even basing on what I've seen so far in this season. I mean, can we agree, like you and me, because we've predicted and called these things earlier, do you get a feeling? Because I can fucking tell you right now, me and you had a feeling, and we argued week to week when we watched Game of Thrones. We were like, guys, this isn't getting that better. Like, I remember those conversations. Remember, we went on shows and argued with people who swore to God we were crazy. And look at us now.
We gotta wait to see what actually happens. Like, if somebody has the dragon on the wall moment where it's like, I've been like this the entire time that you've known me as a viewer, I've been like this, and now I will be different. I mean, I feel like that's the most important thing, is that it just needs to make narrative sense with what you've shown of the character. Like, if Homelander turns into some unbelievably good guy and turns into an actual hero, that'd be totally ridiculous.
And just based on what we're seeing, we're going the opposite direction. Now, I don't want to see this big cliche of him just being a psychopath, because for me, Homelander has never been that. He's been crazy, yes, but I still feel calculated, or at least with the people around him, he's made calculated decisions. And clearly at the end, that was an emotional one. And he's known to do those.
I really don't. I don't get what happened in that scene. Like, I do, but I don't. In the sense that at the beginning, no, I know what physically happened. I'm talking about the motivations, because he could have done that immediately. Like, I thought for a second when they were like directly face to face, I thought he was going to Stillwell her and just burn her freaking head out. That's what I thought was going to happen. And then he says, pack your shit and leave. And I was like, wait a second. You're just, what? You're just letting her walk away? And then she decides to sell herself like, I'm the only person who loves you. And I don't know what her heart was doing, because he made a reference to it earlier that, oh, well, you seem real nervous right now because I've caught you. But now that we're having this essentially heart-to-heart talk, was she still nervous in that same fashion? Don't know. We aren't told. I don't have X-ray vision, so I can't see what's going on. I don't have super hearing, so I can't hear what's going on. All I can do is take in what is shown to me on the TV, and then he smashed her head into an eagle. Wild.
First off, great death scene. Secondly, I took it as he's had this issue with people around him being like yes men. I think he was pissed, but he gave her the out because he respects.
Yeah, he's got a fealty problem. He doesn't have any loyalty.
Exactly. And I think in some weird way, he respected the fact that she wasn't trying to kiss his ass. And so he goes, okay, just go. And then when she tried to sell it, I took that as in, now he sees in his mind, oh, she's just another one of those people who are scared of me, trying to sell themselves to me, trying to get back into my good graces. It's not real. Because his whole thing this whole season has been trying to get real affection, real attention, real admiration, and what he needs to do that. See you later. Have a good one.
Who are we saying see you later to? I didn't see any of these comments.
Carmen.
Bye, Carmen.
Children, I have to leave. That's what she said.
Do you have to? Why do you have to?
She probably has got stuff going on.
Oh, the other dude was in Supernatural too?
Yeah, I told you. Jared Padalecki.
Oh.
Remember, they're brothers fighting. Have you?
No. The third guy.
Oh yeah,
the guy with the gas breath.
He plays not Gabriel. He plays
a demon or an angel or what?
Angel. He plays not Gabriel. Michael. I forgot who he plays. Badass. Anyways, like a perfect season when all of them work together. Then it got fucking stupid, but no, yeah, well, that's why I was joking. It was a supernatural reunion. But anyways, my takeaway and why I thought the scene worked well was because I wasn't going by the heartbeat. I was going by when she stood up for himself. Even though it pissed him off, he could respect that. But then when she backtracked and tried to appeal to him and essentially tried to do what everybody else in his inner circle is doing and telling him what he wants to hear, it was like, that's where she fucked up. If I was her, I would have just left. And honestly, she had an out, which was, can I just say, okay, Firecracker in this season, I was really vibing with this character. I thought,
oh, agreed.
Okay, I know why you were vibing with her, you fucking perv. But
oh, you're not wrong.
Come on, gingers stick together. Was she a natural? She's not a natural ginger, is she? No, she dyed her hair or something. Because I swear to God, her hair looked different in another scene. Anyways,
maybe.
But I really, really loved what they did with her character because honestly, I felt for a while that she was just being used as this figure piece. And once again, these come back to my issues with Daredevil a bit. I feel like in this show, in contrast to what we've been getting with Daredevil, there's a lot of characters here. Even the fucking dog gets some kind of like storyline going. You know what I mean? I feel like they're doing so much just fucking character work with these characters, and it's some might argue, well, Zod, it's the last fucking season. I just want to see shit blowing up in a big fucking Marvel fight. And I gotta tell you, I'm fucking sick and tired of that shit. Like, I love the big fucking flashy lights in the fights too, but I think that you get more out of a moment like her being fucking impaled by an eagle by getting to learn more about who she is, because honestly, we really didn't know much about her until this season. And much like, rest in peace, Daniel, I'll carry the torch for you forever. Okay? Any fucking stream, Daniel? A boy! Anyways. Unlike Daniel, I wasn't as pissed. So I guess that speaks to Michael Gandolfini's acting. But I felt like when I got, as opposed to when I got to Daniel's death, when I got to her death, it hit me in the way that I feel like was intended to hit me. Where first off, I was like, damn. And the irony, because she does the podcast and it's an American Eagle and she died, like, it all works. But there's been this like journey with her character, and it was so intriguing. And even with her making the exact wrong choice, if she would have just fucking did the right thing with that dude, right? And she even had that Jesus and she threw it out. I don't know. What did you think about the whole? Because, well, let me tell you, Phoebe, a lot of emotional weight. Lots of emotional weight.
What the hell is your question?
What did you think about the arc with Firecracker, how they handled it? And I felt like this episode did so well fleshing so much out for her.
I was so pissed off. I'm probably going to end up giving this episode a 2 because, like, you could have gotten so much more out of this character if you didn't kill him off.
Fair.
They had so much more to give.
I mean, I can't argue with that. Here it is.
I bet you can't argue with it. I bet you can.
No, this was where I would argue.
I thought that Firecracker was going to make it to the end. If he didn't kill her when he found out that she was banging Soldier Boy, I didn't think that anything was going to do that, because it's all about, like, as it's been since the beginning, Homelander wants everyone to love him. And if he has to kill all the people that don't love him so that everyone loves him, he will.
So here's the thing.
You're supposed to say, for this episode, you're supposed to say, get this. Because that's what he says in Supernatural all the time. Get this. I just saw that in the message.
So get this. I assumed she was going to die. And like you, I picked later. I thought it was going to be the Soldier Boy love triangle. I like that her death is within character of Homelander.
100%.
But so random and like not where you think they would die. Because like looking at how A-Train died, when you watch that scene, you go, I do want to believe it. But when they paused everything and they show him do it, and I go, the first thing I was like, he's gonna fucking die, isn't he? And then you see the empty road and everything, and I'm like, fuck me, he's gonna die. It's like, you get those moments where you're like, this character's gonna die. And I'll even tell you, during Daredevil, I fucking knew they were gonna fucking kill him when they did the thing they always do, and he's sitting at the table and he's talking about his mom and everything, and I'm like, PB, part of my mind said he's gonna die, but my heart was like, nah, they're not gonna fucking kill the best character. They're not gonna do it before the scene. So I got bamboozled. But here, what I like about this death is it's so in character to what we've seen Homelander do and how quick and kind of out of the blue the deaths come. Well, it kind of reminds me of Stillwell at the end of season 1.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, fuck. I guarantee, like, even Bitchy watched that, and she was like, what the fuck? She goes, she's dead? And I was like, they were like, welcome to the boys. Or even if you want to go to the very first episode, right, with Huey and his girl. Dude, I know the comics, and that pretty much follows the first one very faithfully. I knew she was going to die, but holy shit, man. Like, the way they do it, it's like, no, episode 1, bam, we're starting you right off. And I appreciate that. I really like it. I like when you can balance doing something shocking, but make it make sense in the world of the boys and how they did it. So, very good stuff. What other things stick out in your mind? I really want to take a little bit more time to talk about the boys because I really enjoyed
I was disappointed I didn't get to see more Craig Robinson. I love Craig Robinson. He's hilarious.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. I'll give you that. Well,
I mean, everything about that mansion scene I found fucking hilarious. The Diddy joke, hilarious. And how it fits into the context of he's a speedster.
Yeah, and
those two things couldn't have just worked out better.
This is okay. So remember, I think it was a few weeks ago when we were saying that the satirical was not lining up properly. I want to apologize because this episode, everything fucking lined up so well, like how they're shooting the scene. And the thing is, if I remember correctly, they focus in on it, but not like blatantly, it's like a quick shot.
Well, no, it's like in the party favors room or whatever. Like, this is all the shit that we kept. I mean, then they got a massive plate of cocaine.
And it's so great because it's not only did they foreshadow what was going to happen, which even them showing that, I knew it was going to come into play, but not exactly how it came into play. And one thing I didn't predict is Soldier Boy throwing everybody in front of him, especially at the one that
the last one was the best one. Okay, now.
Oh yeah, that.
It's great.
Okay, so it was like I knew, but I didn't know. I was like, oh, he's throwing like, what is he gonna do? And I was like, oh, these guys are so fucking stupid. Like, and this is why I'm just gonna say it now. Everybody picks characters. They pick Homelander or Carl Urban, Butcher. My favorite character, and I think I've said this from season 3. If I'm not, because I know you've done the reviews with me. I think I've been consistent. My fucking favorite character, and I called this from when they brought him in from the comic books. I said my favorite character was Soldier Boy. Does not fucking disappoint. As a matter of fact, I am so fucking excited for his spinoff show. I can't even tell you.
I'm curious. Did they say it's supposed to be a prequel, right? Like it's supposed to be younger, like in the 70s or 80s or whenever. I assume before he got taken by the Reds.
Yes. And Jensen Ackles actually did stuff on his Instagram because I follow him, where he said just got done rapping. So they've been actually shooting the show for a while. He is in it. He is a major part of the show. So I'm fucking, that's a prequel I'm actually super fucking excited for. I am so excited to see. And I just got to say, like, Soldier Boy is my favorite character probably in this series. I would put Stan Edgar as, like, my number 2 because Giancarlo Esposito is so great.
He's up there, but I got Frenchie up there.
I hear a lot of people say that.
Frenchie is entertaining as hell.
I flip-flop with Frenchie just because I feel like he's kind of getting to where he was in season 1. I don't know about you. Obviously, being
the character progression is very lacking in the show. I will give you that much. A lot of characters seem to be essentially acting in the same fashion as they did in season 1, which why would you?
Yeah, and so let's go to our hardest parts, or at least this is going to be tough for me. So I'll kick it to you first. We've obviously, as the kids say, glazed this episode. So let's get into the weeds, do something. This is going to be harder than it was for fucking episodes. Daredevil. I'm going to have to do work on this one. What is your negative of this episode besides the stage plan?
I mean, that is my biggest negative. The other thing, I was disappointed that they killed the director with a butt eel.
I was not.
Only because I every time that he's been on screen, it's been entertaining. Like when him and Ashley were having his tryst, entertaining. When him and the black guy that had his dick frozen off were pitching movies, those were always entertaining. Like, it's never not been a good time with him on screen, and it was the same there. And Shiz fucking delivers a comedy. My asshole really hurts.
Can we agree?
I was just disappointed that they killed. I want to get more time with him.
See, you're like
the Deep is very vindictive, and I'm curious to watch the fight between him and Black Noir because they are going to throw hands. The only question is, are they going to throw hands near the water or not?
I always get the feeling, and I can't say for certain because it's so different from the comic book.
Thank God.
I always get the feeling like the Deep does have power, because if we think about the V in a sense, like, yes,
I mean, he's super strong. He's like, at least, I would assume he's at least like Spider-Man strong.
Yeah, he's got to be at least strong. Now the question is he? Excuse me. Is he strong enough? Because Homelander's a terrible skill. Go on. Nobody except for Maeve, who even had a problem facing him, was up to that level. And he said,
Soldier Boy,
in the season where Maeve died, he even mentioned that Maeve was the only one who was comparable to his strength. So then, if we're going back from that, I don't think the Deep is weak per se. He's just not stronger than Homelander. He's not stronger than, like, say, A-Train, who can move quickly. But does that mean that if they throw a fist, he can't match him in strength? I don't know.
You have to, strength and durability aren't necessarily the same. Like, A-Train doesn't have to be strong, but he has to be durable, because if you're going to move that fast and punch something that is as durable as Homelander, if you have no durability, you're just going to break your arm.
Or run through people. Like,
well, he didn't run through Homelander. Running through people, I feel, is a little different than running through another superhero. I get what you mean. You still have to have the durability to withstand the physics of going through a human.
Yeah, this is why
he definitely has more than regular. All of the soups, I would say, have higher than average durability compared to a human.
Because let's just even relate it to somebody who's a soup who is on The Boys, Starlight. We've seen her go fist to fist with other soups and be fine. So, and the thing that I do like is that we only have one really comparable scale. It's not like we're dealing with a Dragon Ball Z here. Well, two. Homelander and Soldier Boy are the top tier. No one can fuck with them. We've established they are, in this universe, let's say, the strongest, the most durable. I mean, I'm not counting him getting, trapped in a nuclear bunker or whatever else. I'm just saying, fighting wise, whatever.
Right, but anybody else that got trapped in that nuclear bunker, or whatever you want to call it, they would be dead.
Yeah, so let's just say if we're starting with our metrics, right, those are the two top tier. What I'm curious about is how would we rank everybody else descending from that? You know what I mean? And even
Noir's got to be pretty close to the top. He gets blown up all.
But this isn't the same Noir.
Original Noir.
Yeah, original Noir.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's durability is because he can fly.
So let me ask you: do you think that that's a problem, or do you think it's smart that they?
Homelander flies all over the place, right? Like he rarely goes in a vehicle to someplace. He's constantly flying places. I believe that the most durable thing in the Boys universe is his hair gel. I'm quite certain of it.
Fuck you for bringing that up, because now I'm thinking in my head, what is he using it? That hair never moves.
Never moves.
Dude, I have to. Now I'm going to go back through seasons and see if I can see because you'll know if he had a good fight if his hair was fucking ruffled. Dude, I'm pretty sure any season, I've never seen that fucking hair move a fucking inch.
Nope.
So then we're saying the second most powerful thing in the Boys universe is the hair gel?
Bingo.
Okay, so in your guesstimation, let's throw some guesses out, theories here. Who do you believe is more powerful, the Deep or Black Noir? Because the Deep didn't attack him directly. He was just
if we're talking fisticuffs, one-on-one, no external sources of intervention, I think I'm taking Black Noir. I feel like he's going to end up being more durable.
Okay, because you picked Black Noir, I'm a villain and I like going against the grain.
I mean, if he's in a position where he can call on any of his guild friends or undersea fellows, then there's a massive chance that the Deep would win, no problem. Because it's like, okay, who's the first person that you're going to call if you're fighting somebody in shallow water?
Shark.
No.
That Shark Jack or whatever.
I'm called. Oh yeah, that shark was pretty funny. I'm Octopus. I need something that'll hold you in place.
I was thinking more of I just wanted to see the funny back there where he's like, stop mentioning the word, attack him.
Stuff
No,
that can grab things.
No,
You got octopus, squids. Maybe
okay,
you can bring
I'm gonna
some
go
jellyfish in to sting the fuck out of him.
I'm gonna relate this to my least favorite character in all of DC, Aquaman. And I've had arguments. All you fucking weirdos who like Aquaman, what the fuck? Stupidest fucking Carol, whatever. I'm not getting into it. Anyways, in the comics, Aquaman is, yes, immensely stronger in a body of water, by water, whatever else. However, he was not exactly unable to defend himself or hold his own on land. And the boys is a rift off of these things. So I almost feel like it would be cool. Maybe it's not going to happen. This is tinfoil hat conspiracy. I would just love to see them get into a fight and him thinking he is going to whoop his ass on land, and he's actually beats the shit out of him because he made it to the 7, handpicked by Homelander. I refuse to think it's just all because of his powers at sea. I feel like there's, you know what I mean? There's like a little bit more. Like maybe he is a badass, but just because of where he is and the position he's in and stuff, we always see him as like, what do? You know, whatever else. But I feel like he's going to be scrappy. So I'm going to choose the Deep. I feel like he's very overlooked, and I don't think necessarily he needs a body of water. Who knows? He could just equal it out by having him run over, setting him up in some kind of way. The Deep's a little shisty fuck. And winning a fight is not necessarily always about how physically strong you are. It's about putting yourself in a position to where you can win. And I don't know. I feel like he would place himself in a more advantageous position, and it's not necessarily going to be like, oh, he's going to lure him to the ocean or a watery place. You know what I mean?
I mean, you would think so. You're not going to want to do it straight up, but if you're Black Noir, you're going to want it to happen straight up. So you're going to have to wait for your moment where he's not in a position that he can get help from anywhere. I mean, shit, if they're walking past an aquarium, you can get help from those freaking animals too.
I feel like, so he used the ill in a bathroom, which is the only water touch, right?
Right, like we're watching the scene, and I was like, "Uh-oh, they're showing him in a bathroom," and then you hear, I was like, "Oh, that's not good. What is it going to be?" I thought it was going to be a snake at first. It was not a snake. I'm not even entirely sure what it was. Like, it was some type of eel, I presume, but since when do eels eat humans like that? Especially when they taste like shit. I presume if you eat somebody colon first, it's going to taste like shit.
Yeah, I think the Deep could win if he uses his, I don't want to even say clever. I think he's just extremely fucking shisty. That's the only way I can put it. Like, because he does dumb shit. So I don't even, you know what I mean, PB? Like, I don't feel like he's necessarily the smartest character, but he's very crafty.
You're saying the Deep is crafty?
Oh, yeah.
I would agree with that.
Dude, think about everybody who's died, right? And I've said this to myself tons of times. How the fuck is the Deep still alive?
Because he's Homelander's
he's
Homelander's number one sycophant.
True, but is he really?
And Homelander knows that he's manipulate might be taking it a bit too far, but he's able to control the Deep more than he's been able to control anybody else on the Seven.
I feel as if
like the Deep has never had information on him where he's like, oh, well, we gotta get rid of that shit.
I feel like, and I think this was in season 4 or 3 or something. I feel like the Deep knows, and I feel like he may even know more than he lets on. But the difference between him and every other character is that, I don't know, I'm going to call it smart enough. He's smart enough to know not to use or try anything because he's seen the results of what you do from everybody else.
I mean, I do wonder how many times Homelander has listened to his heart when they're talking to see how nervous he is, because I don't remember them ever bringing that up before.
Also, too, I don't know, just for me, and this is just a testament to how good the writing is. I've always had this lingering feeling, like out of all of the characters, right, that the Deep is the most underestimated. I feel like, because you see so many sparks, like when he tries to make a plan, he fails fucking epically. But I also feel like he's like so close to being one of those characters that is secretly the most brilliant out of everybody. I can't, you know what I mean? He's like one of those characters where I just get a sense he's more intelligent, he's more whatever than he's letting on to everybody else. Like the whole thing.
There's, who am I thinking of? So he's like Dewey.
He's our Dewey. Perfect example. Because Dewey, dude, that's an excellent example.
I thought so.
Hold on.
I'll be here till the end of the stream.
With this container. Perfect. People would say Dewey's not a very good character. He's dumb. Lop up.
Characters in all of... Oh, fuck.
But Dewey had been in all of the Screams up to, when was it? God, it's because it's been so many. Scream 5? Was it 89? Scream 5?
I don't fucking know. I don't think I've watched anything past freaking 3.
Dewey is a lot like the Deep because even though he may not be the sharpest, he might not always make, let's say, the best choices or the smartest choices. He always seems to have some kind of inside knowledge or to be at that place where he needs to be. I gotta use the restroom. You explain it better than I can, but you get where I'm going with this.
I have no idea what you're trying to say about Dewey. You were talking about characters that are smarter than what we are led to believe. Like, you watch Dewey for 1.9 movies worth? Because doesn't the twist come at the end of the second one, or does the twist come at the end of the third one? I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. You're led to believe that he's wholly incompetent. And then you get to the end and you find out that he's a mastermind. Now, do I think that the Deep is going to end up being a mastermind? No. But I do agree with you that he's got more going on than what we know. Like, you can't run a successful podcast and be totally devoid of intelligence. That's how that would happen. Whereas us, we run an unsuccessful podcast, so we can be totally devoid of intelligence.
And at the same time, when people listen to us and the people that like us, and obviously I'm at 1.18K. Thank you, by the way.
Which none of those people like us, just so you're aware.
Maybe not everybody likes us. Maybe they do.
You might have like 20 people that like you, but the other 1,000 like Johnny Depp.
Or
nope, the other 1,000 like Johnny Depp.
Or maybe they're like this guy.
That was creepy.
No, no. I will say that I like characters like this, where, and I'm very curious. Let's pose this, because I think we're in our prediction phases. We've said all we needed to say about this. First off, let's do.
I have one more thing that I have to say about this.
Go ahead. Take it away.
I feel sorry for people who are so wrapped up in their own political ideology that they are unable to appreciate such a well put together show, because they constantly think that they are being attacked in a show because things could be potentially vaguely similar or vaguely satirical. And it's on both sides where people are like, oh, this is amazing. Look how they're attacking people. And then the same thing happens and they're like, oh, this is terrible. Look how they're attacking people. It's like, they didn't attack anybody. It's a fucking comic book show, people.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, how can you be so fucking self-absorbed to think that this fucking show is trying to commentate on your life that you're living as an individual? Like, come on.
And here's the thing. We've had problems when the director or the actor or the writer has come out and said, hey, this is, and I feel like that's the difference. When they come out and they go, this is about you. We don't like our fans. Fuck you guys. You don't have to watch it. That's when we have a problem with it. Perfect example. And while I'll never like it, fuck you, PB, except for Tatiana Maslany. Sit on my face. Anyways.
Go on.
Whoa, I would do on. Anyways, She-Hulk, right? The creator has come out and said she fucking hates the fans. She doesn't like us. She did everything on purpose. Basically, fuck Marvel fans. She said that. We have proof. And the show is fucking terrible and shows that. Now, PB, it's not terrible in the sense that I don't like seeing a big green version of Tatiana Maslany running around on the screen. I'm not really a fan of Megan Thee Stallion. I like the other one. What's her name? Who battles her? Starts with a C.
Starts with a C?
Yeah, another black chick rapper. Forgot her name.
I mean, the only
Cardi B. I like Cardi B.
I mean, I like Cardi B. I also like.
Yeah, I think she's hotter if we're comparing. But I'm not a big ass guy, so maybe that just.
They all have big asses. They are black women. What are you talking about?
No. I would say we should do a measure. Who has the biggest ass? Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion?
Well, to be fair, recently Megan Thee Stallion had lost some weight. So, did you see her banging Harry Potter? That's a thing. It's a thing. You got to watch the fall and rise. You got to watch the fall and rise of Reggie Jenkins. It's in Reggie Jenkins.
And here's the thing too. Cardi B likes you, so I already have to give her respect for that. She's why
like the System Lord.
No. The show.
Me? You're talking about me?
No, the show on Netflix. You.
I don't have a show on Netflix.
No. The show is called You. Not you personally.
The show is called PB?
The show is called YOU.
Like WHYOH YOU.
Fuck me. You know what I'm talking about, goddammit.
I do, but I wanted to play up the Laura Ingress segment when the guy was telling her about you. She's like, me? I love that fucking clip. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but needless to say, Cardi B was a huge fan of that show, and she did some promotion, like watching it and stuff, and it was fucking hilarious hearing her commentary.
Interesting.
But like, so yeah, I've always like and I like her music, preferably more than Megan Thee Stallion. But okay, so getting back to our original point, right? And this is carried over in Daredevil, right? This whole thing where people think it's supposed to represent it's so fucking ridiculous, man. It's like, okay, if I'm making a leap, if politically and motivatedly I really want to see it, I think we can agree, maybe vaguely, we can kind of see that it might be a reference to ICE. But when you're watching the podcast and everything, I don't hear the creator saying it's supposed to be a reference. Now, if you want to say Fisk is a reference to how the government's being run right now, I can kind of logically see that leap. I mean, you're still making a big leap. You're still...
It's pretty big. You jumped without being able to see the other side.
And I've heard some actors, especially in this episode, watch the podcast. That actress who plays the senator, she talks a lot about fascism.
I mean, the governor?
Yeah, the lady who plays the governor is on the podcast. And she frames it a lot how Fisk is a representation of fascism and fascism in our world. So you know where she's going with it. That's not a fucking...
Yeah, we got rid of the fascists. Joe Biden's gone.
No. We all know who she's talking about. She's saying...
Yeah, but I also know what fascism is and letting people...
We're not in a... We're not in a... I hate to get political on this channel because it's so fucking touchy these days. But people... Everybody who's being retarded and think we're living in a fascist world, you're fucking stupid. That is not how fascism works. We are not in a fascist government. Let me refer you to the history books and fucking read the World War II section of that book and about
travel
people
to 1930s Italy.
Exactly. PB, have you seen your neighbor ripped out of their house? Because I haven't seen it.
I mean, I did, but they were on a gurney and, dying.
So, I mean, I can see if you're fucking crazy where you're trying to make the leaps here. But with the boys, and I said this, are they blatantly shouting things out? Yes. But have they balanced it? 100%. Because like I said, and we've said this in this episode, when we first started off, it was heavily church, state, all that stuff. There was some pretty big beating you over the head. And now, in this episode, you can't watch this episode and tell me they aren't heavily making fun of the other side. So
I don't know how you could, or I don't know how you could say that they're not.
And I saw a reviewer who brought this up, and I tend to agree. It's this guy who has a Spider-Man animation or whatever else, and he argues about this stupid political debates about these shows. And he was like, guys, after watching this episode, you're all fucking retarded. And I agree, because this is the problem, and I think it's just an American thing right now, because our other viewers from other countries or whatever, it doesn't seem to be an issue with them. The politics and people's feelings about things is so fucking swinging one way or another. There's no, and I've been watching Cobra Kai a lot, so I'm just going to say, there's no balance, PB. Mr. Miyagi would be very ashamed right now.
Agreed.
And I don't know about you, but me, myself, politically, I see myself very much more in the middle than I've ever been in recent years. I maybe tend to lean a little bit more towards right views, but I've been very middle, and hell, with this administration, I disagreed with some things that have been said that I think are just fucking stupid. But I'm not to a point where I think we're in a fascist fucking society and I'm expecting someone to knock on my door and drag me out in the middle of the fucking night. Like, come on. And I think it's so tough now for shows that even want to try to have something to say now, because the YouTubers that are commenting on it are just doing it for clicks. Let's be real. Shout out to you, geeks and gamers and all you fucks on that side, right? They're mining it for content. And all the fucking idiots in the comments section are clapping like fucking seals because they're being validated in their view. But the question is it specifically targeting people? No, because nobody on The Boys and none of the fucking creators have come out and said, yeah, we directly hate those fucking dirty Republicans and their fake news. No. They have just presented two very different sides, and they're kind of showing how both are a little crazy in the way that they're choosing to present information, facts, and I'm going to say it right now. I was nervous, but I think honestly, The Boys is I'm just going to say it. So far, this is the strongest season we've had. I think last season was a huge stumble. We talked about this before, right? When they hit that bump, it was that little bump.
Well, it amazes to me. I was watching a video clip of a bunch of guys sitting talking about the show, and it's amazing to me how in season 5 you can talk about how the show is so terrible when you quit watching in season 2. Fucking amazing.
And can we bring this back to, let's talk about Disney and Marvel, because I think we've got, now I've said to you,
I gave this episode of The Boys a 9.
Oh, okay, cool. I was at an 8. I think I'm being conservative.
Can't argue with an 8.
Yeah, I give it an 8 because, oddly enough, as much as I enjoy the character motivations, you hit the nail on the head where we're in episode 5 and there's still like that nagging feeling of nothing isn't really happened. You put it perfectly. I am at an 8 as opposed to a 9 because nothing is really happening and we're in the final season. So that's my deduction, is because I'm not worried.
I am curious to see if like these last 3 episodes are like, this episode was 68 minutes, but is the last episode going to be like 2 hours long so that we can fit everything in? Because it seems like a lot of shit has to happen.
Oh, dude, if they do something like that,
I mean, in reality, maybe if we don't know what the ending is, because it's going to be different than the comic, at least that's what we're led to understand. It's not going to be exactly the same. Maybe they don't really have to do that much. All they have to do is finish making the virus and make it contagious and then release it, and then superheroes will just slowly die over a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, like until it reaches every corner of the globe. The only way you'd be able to survive is to completely remove yourself from society, because anybody you come in contact with is going to, maybe not accidentally, but inherently kill you with their presence.
Yeah. I think
like everybody seems to think that a lot of things have to happen. Not really. We only have to have one thing happen.
The biggest thing, and I think people forget about how this whole thing started. There's only one key thing that has to be resolved in this season 100%, because I don't think they're going to carry over in the other shows.
Apparently, Gen V got canceled.
Oh, sad.
That's what I'm hearing.
Butcher,
we missed
Homelander,
you immensely, Carmen. You have no idea.
We miss you a lot. Butcher, Homelander, and Huey. They all have to be
Triforce.
Resolved. Because, am I saying anything that doesn't make sense? Think about how the show started.
I don't know. I feel like
that to me is what you need to resolve to make it complete. Everything else is just peripheral.
I don't know. I could say that if you want to narrow it down to a confrontation, It's who survives, Butcher, Homelander, or neither. Like, you got 3 options there, because I don't see how they both survive the show. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
think
there's so much vitriol between the 2 of them that I don't see how you could do it.
And here's the thing about Eric Kripke, and he said this while shooting Supernatural, because spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen season 5, he killed Jared Padalecki. Well, he didn't technically kill him. He sent him to hell, but I'm just going to call it as killed him because he's in eternal torment. The final season, Satan takes over Jared Padalecki's body. And so he becomes Satan, and it's a final battle between good and evil, heaven and hell. And the prophecy that they set up in the beginning of the show, it was all about these 2 brothers and their love for each other. And Jared Padalecki sacrifices himself so Dean can have a normal life and stay with this woman that he falls in love with in one of the few episodes. And they killed a lot of the supporting characters. They even killed what's his face, who was my favorite, the dude in the
Doesn't matter, because I'm not going to know who you're talking about.
Anyways, doesn't matter. But the point is, Eric Kripke wasn't afraid to kill main characters because it made sense to the story he was telling. And I feel like in this, I don't think he's going to cop out because of marketing or people are going to get pissy. I think he knows and he's well aware. And based on how he's written the story, he's very much made it to where we even feel there is only 3 outcomes, right? And the one that makes the most sense is somebody has to die. Or I could even see Butcher dying, Homelander becoming human, which would be as bad as death for Homelander. And then Frederick, because he's the greatest character and gets his own shot.
Okay, but then you also have the other people that could say it had nothing to do with any of the individual characters in the show. And the whole premise of the show is to take down Vought.
Well, no. For me, the premise of the show is Vought isn't even the point, and you can't take Vought down. Edgar put it the best, and I think that line is in there on purpose. You can't stop the machine. At the end of the day, corporations and things like, look, here's the thing, and people, you can fucking come at me and say what you want to. It's nice to think we don't need the corporate mindset. We don't need corporations and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, and the point that Stanley Edgar made in that scene is, corporations make the world go around. Commerce, selling shit, people, unfortunately, you need that. It is fundamentally what keeps the whole thing going. Like, you can make changes in that structure. You can try to make it better. But at the end of the day, you need that shit. It's just like the argument with when I was on special teams and special forces, thing like that. People need to be taken out. You might not like it. You might want to have a worldview that everybody can hold hands and fucking hug each other and sing kumbaya, but that's not the fucking world we live in. You need people to do the dirt so you don't have to. So you can go home at night and you can sleep in your bed and you can be under the illusion that everything is perfect. But you need the guy who's doing that shit to make it happen. If you just eliminate that, then at least my belief is the system crumbles. You need, people, okay, now we're getting into a big philosophical debate here. People want to think you could just fucking take a cog out of a machine, destroy the machine, and have nothing in place. Because then the question becomes, what are you replacing that thing with, right? It's like the whole argument about taxes or anything else, right? You want to give free fucking free college tuition, right? Well, where's the money coming from? How are you going to justify and replace all of that fucking money that you're giving out essentially for free, right? It's got to come from somewhere.
This is exactly why Star Trek makes no sense.
Because it's like
There are no wages, and people only do stuff to better themselves. But Picard owns this giant frickin' vineyard, which is how many fucking acres? And then the lady lives just down the fucking road in a tiny little fucking shack. Like, how is that fair? How come she don't get a vineyard? And then what do you do with the wine at the vineyard? Are you just literally giving it away? And there are people working at the vineyard. Like, is there a form of compensation, even if it's not directly money? Like, is this a barter system now where, like, you will give me your item and I will do manual labor for you? Like, the whole having no money in Star Trek is one massive plot hole.
And maybe we're just conditioned that way. Maybe, who knows, PB?
It
maybe
doesn't make. I watched a whole video on it, and I was like, I was skeptical going into the video. I was like, of course we could have an egalitarian society where there's no monetization of anything. Okay, but then how do you determine what's equal? How are you? Does that mean you're forcing people to do things?
I
Like,
would
you got to
say
educate people. Is everything just like worked through? Are we living in one giant holodeck? It's not actually real.
I would say the closest thing I've seen to something that was interesting that might work is the Fallout way of currency.
I mean, I get how Fallout works. I get how Fallout works. Like, you're just using something as a currency. Like the current your paper dollar, your nickel, your dime, not your penny, because we got rid of the penny. All of these things, they don't have, like, the piece of paper has no value to it. It's not like you're holding a piece of silver. You're holding a piece of paper that's equivalent to $1 worth of gold. At least it used to be. We're not on the gold standard anymore, anyways. And that totally fucked everything. Like, currency is a easy way to exchange goods and services without having to find the exact good and service. Like, Walmart goes to all of the trouble of finding all of the things that you want to buy, and you just go to Walmart instead of you going to all of the places where Walmart got the stuff.
And so, and it comes down to, here's the big thing, convenience. I feel is more of what is going on, as opposed to, like you said, the value of the currency and everything. Because let's take it back to olden days, right? When they were trading fucking wampum and fucking buffalo skins, and you hunted for shit and you traded that in for...
There were bison skins.
Or bison skins, whatever. Right? Like, that was the most tangible currency, but getting that shit to people and stuff was a fucking pain in the ass, right? So I feel like the concept of money and everything else, not necessarily the money is the thing. Like they say, money is the root of all evil. I think it's just more of how these things are implemented, the way we do things now, and convenience, because convenience is even killing the theater experience, right? What's more convenient? Staying at home and watching something like The Boys, check it out. Did it. Or going to the movies, driving, paying fucking $20 for the whole experience, fucking hating it, driving back home. you know, and then you're just like, fuck, I wasted 40 or 2 hours and 40 minutes of my day where I could have just fucking stayed home and downloaded it and wasted maybe 2 hours and no money. Well, yeah, well, you still got to pay the money essentially, but you get what I mean. Like, you didn't have to do the traveling, the fucking getting the popcorn and the soda.
Time is money.
Finding your seat. Yeah, I feel like, so bringing it back to The Boys, I think that the problems people are having and everything else are all personal issues that they're putting on stuff. And relating this back, because I was going to say something about Marvel and Disney, right? And we hear this all the time. I don't like this because the company made it. Such a fucking bad argument. It especially pisses me off when you are claiming...
the things that throw me off is all of the things that you like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you were a kid, you liked the Lion King. You were a kid, you liked Aladdin. You were a kid, you liked the Fox and the Hound. And now Disney is the devil. Do you all of a sudden not like those things? Are you retroactively going back in time and being like, hey man, you don't like this stuff because it's made by Disney? That's wild. And if you think any company out there is a 100% stand-up company, I don't think that they exist. Everybody is trying to fuck somebody over to get ahead in some aspect.
And
like many companies, pretty much all of the multinational corporations could pay all of their workers more. They could easily pay all their workers more, but they won't because they don't have to.
And because financially, it doesn't benefit them. Now, if there was a way where they were getting some kind of credit or a incentive, then yeah, I bet you we'd have equal pay. And they'd fucking tout it to the skies. It'd be like, you see what we're doing here? Best company ever. We fucking pay these guys the rates and we give them paid vacation and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, they're getting kickbacks somewhere on the back end.
Apparently, NFL referees, a lot of them have other jobs that they do. I don't know if their other jobs are also seasonal or if they're going into their frickin' local frickin' Home Depot to do a shift before they go out and ref an NFL game. But they make hundreds of thousands of dollars for working half of the year. And they're complaining that it's not enough because the NFL makes more money. You get what I'm saying? Like, if where you're getting paid from makes more money, then you feel like, well, I should get paid more because you're getting paid more. Which I kind of see that argument, but holy shit, how tough do you think your fucking job is?
I'm at a weird place because I see that argument, but I also, and people hate when you say this, but let's just put all our cards on the table and be fair to both sides. I completely see the NFL argument too. Why am I paying you more money, as you said? Put it in perspective like this. Would you go to your boss?
Carmen, we already told
probably makes more money than you. And so it go, you know what? You make 100,000. I'm only making like 30K. I deserve to make as much money as you just because I work here, right? What is your boss going to say to you? Go fuck yourself.
Pretty much.
What are you doing to justify that?
Right, exactly. What did you do to improve the quality of your brand or product? Because I'll tell you what, the NFL referees do not improve the product of the NFL.
Fuck, I would argue sometimes
the ones who improve it the most are the ones that you see the least.
Amen to that. So relating this back into what we've been talking about and how I feel these shows are being rated.
Make this your last point.
And The Boys. I think that if I'm going off of every season that I've seen, and let's just say politically motivated seasons, I would honestly say this to me is feeling a lot like what the first season was. And I think that they're back on track. And I have the utmost confidence as we go through the season. I feel we're going to get a satisfying ending. I have complete confidence. And I think that when people are judging these things and rating these things, and I got passionate earlier, you can go check it out the first hour. That was all me ranting. I still think you need to take your belief system out of it, especially if you are giving people recommendations or saying things. And I hate, especially when I see reviews where what they're saying, they've clipped from something or it's made the rounds. And like you said, they haven't watched a fucking show since like season 1 or 2. and come on and go, look at this shit. Clearly they're saying something about Trump, or oh, they're saying something about, this. It's like, I guess the main takeaway: watch the fucking show and make your own mind up.
Or if you're not watching the show, shut the fuck up about it.
Perfect. Yeah. You know how much content there is to do? There's a million things you can talk about that is just as outrageous. It's almost like seeing something and because
have a discussion on the merits of paper clips versus staples.
Yeah, man. Fuck paper clips. I'm a staples guy. Get rid of the paper.
The paper clip always helped me on the computer. He was such a nice guy.
I like the staples because of that movie Office Space. Sweet again.
You're my stapler. You're my stapler.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Oh man.
All right. That's a good place to end it. Thank you everybody for watching. Yep. Dude, I felt like I was on a real emotional roller coaster ride in this show. This was the most emotional. Maybe episode 7 was the most.
Dude, it definitely hit all of the beats. I feel sorry for people that are unable to enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, I feel like if you didn't like the shows, I think you'll definitely like the conversation because I was all over the place, man.
Don't cry, son.
We laughed and cried. I'm gonna go and cry. I'm trying not to, Carmen. Just don't say his name.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna change this up. I'm gonna say thank you everybody for watching, and as always, remember, kneel before my boy Daniel.
Oh my God.